You dick. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Delete Everything. I am your host, Patrick Wall. With me is my co-host,
Riley Bowen.
And today we have got a guest host, my man,
Jevon William Bartley.
Jevon is here. Jevon is finally here.
What's up,
you guys?
people?
Yeah, you guys don't know this, but we've been trying to get Jevon on here for a few episodes now. So he is guest hosting today, and just a quick reminder, if you guys like what we do here, please get on whatever you're listening to, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever. Get on there and give us 5 stars. That is how we get popular, get people to
money. It's how we get
see
money.
us. It's not even really because advertising bucks aren't that many.
Monetize this.
Yes.
It is.
Stay focused.
It is
let's
that.
look like eye on the prize here.
It is that. It is definitely. There's some monetary, but I mean, it's the business side of it. You know, the more popular we are, the more people come to us and say, "Hey, why don't you advertise?" ABC widgets, and then we're like, oh, then we do show breaks that you guys skip through where, we go, just going to interrupt the show real quick to talk about ABC widgets.
Have you ever gotten an ABC widget?
I have not had an ABC widget, but, I've been looking at widgets for a while.
They're widgetly wonderful.
So, yeah, you get to hear dumb crap like that.
I don't know about these guys. I'm just here for the podcast groupies.
We don't have any groupies yet, Jevon.
The talk radio sluts.
Can we cut right there? Because I think I need to cut.
So, so please rate us 5 stars. Get us up on the charts, please. And at the end of the show, you will hear all of our Patreon, social media, all that stuff. We'll plug all that for you guys. If you're interested in any of that, check us out and, send us a message and say, hey, you guys are great or you guys suck or whatever you guys want to say. We'll probably respond to you. We'll probably be kind of assholes about
directly,
it regardless.
Just like insulting.
Yeah. Or even if you're like, you're great, we're like, yeah, you don't know
what
anything.
Do you know, you fucking idiots?
You think we're great? What a loser. So, just a brief breakdown of what we do here at Delete Everything Podcast. We are, we're taking this opportunity to, talk about all the things that people have forgotten or never knew about or don't really ever discuss. So in other words, just things that as a collective society just have been deleted. And we're here to talk about it and make jokes and give you some historical perspective or maybe just be stupid and loud and obnoxious.
All of those.
It's
Get back in social studies.
Yeah.
It's a history podcast disguised as comedy, like we said last episode. It is when you call your dog into the room and you've got the spoonful of peanut butter. We are the peanut butter, the little heartworm pill.
I know where this is going.
A little heartworm pill that's hidden in there. That's the history.
Wouldn't we be the spoon?
Why would the... No, we're the peanut butter.
I thought we were the pill.
We're a fucking tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, that's fair.
So...
no, hold on a second. I want to get back to this.
You need to really break the metaphor down.
I do a little bit because the pill is what the historical context.
The pill is the history,
and then
we're the peanut butter. We're the delivery system.
The comedy is the peanut butter.
The comedy is the delivery.
But then we
are the spoon.
The comedy would be the spoon.
Oh, who's the person calling the dog into the room? Who's the dog? The dog is the audience.
We're calling the audience dogs.
The dog is the.
That's weird. Quietly, we didn't mean to do that. We're sorry.
Did I sign up for it?
Last week, the audience got to be Scooby-Doo and the gang, and this week they're a dog.
I'm in the wrong studio.
So, quick disclaimer before we get started. As you may have heard in the intro, we are talking today about fad diets over the years. Some of these ridiculous. As we'll get into it, you guys will be like, oh my God. But the reality is that going through and researching this, there are still websites active where people are still doing some of these diets. So I just want to say out the gates, like, we're not suggesting that you do any of these. We're not trying to make any of these. We're trying to make all these sound stupid and ridiculous. Just FYI, if you mistake our tone at any point as going, yeah, this sounds great. It's not. It isn't. We're not dietitians. We're not nutritionists. We're not medical doctors. Don't do any of these diets. That's that. That's the disclaimer. Which
it's necessary.
Why
It's
is it necessary? Why is it necessary?
One of the diets that we're going to discuss, I believe, is just cocaine. So
that's
I am in the right studio.
we are not promoting losing weight through drug abuse.
You guys should do a lot of cocaine. Woo!
That was a big hit. It was a fad.
It was, but
it's kind of still kicking.
But so were arsenic diet pills in the 1800s, which we're not really going to go into. But yeah, there was a time when, or like eating tapeworms in the early 1900s. There was a tapeworm diet.
That's awesome.
Where
makes a lot of sense.
That's awesome. That's just awesome.
Where do you get a tapeworm from?
From a dead guy.
Or dog's ass or something.
Butthole.
Somebody
right?
who died being eaten alive by tapeworms. That's where you get them.
Whose job is it to harvest, like, that's really putting in the work to make a profit. You know what I mean? Like harvesting tapeworms.
Spaghetti that booty hole.
Gross. So we're not really going to talk about those too much, but we are going to start off talking about a couple of guys in the late 1800s and early 1900s that I've labeled dieters against masturbation. And these two fellas were Sylvester Graham, who did not actually invent graham crackers, but like inspired graham crackers.
Oh, I think I actually know a little bit about this. This is my big talent here.
Yeah, you know about the graham crackers.
He's the brand name guy. The actual crackers themselves are just flavorless little shit cakes that are no good for anybody. But he was like, yeah, we're gonna use these just grain crackers essentially as a way to lose weight. Yeah.
I'm looking at Raleigh just to see if his eyes fluctuate or anything. He's actually telling the truth.
Always.
So his belief was like, if you eat bad, it would like inspire you to like be a fucking heathen and like just masturbate a bunch and like have sex with people and just like
my life is coming into focus.
Yeah.
I gotta eat better.
That fast food diet's really doing you in, man. You're just fucking everything, just jizzing everywhere. He believed that people should he was the guy who started like vegetarianism, I guess. He believed that people should only eat plants. And he thought that it was like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, like they only ate plants and they didn't blah, blah, blah.
Is this that Presbyterian minister guy?
I think he was. I don't know, was he a minister? I think so. Yeah, he was a Presbyterian minister.
Okay. Yeah,
wow. Jevon coming in clutch right out the
I'm
gates. I love it. So as he got more popular, the people who followed him, they started to make things like graham flour, graham bread, and graham crackers because he didn't think that you shouldn't eat bread with enriched flour. That also made you jack off, just as soon as you eat a slice of bread, you're just ripping off your pants and just cranking one out right there.
What is it enriched with?
When I see a graham cracker,
it's enriched with sin. But he inspired a fella named John Harvey Kellogg.
My favorite.
Who actually did invent Kellogg's brand.
A Michigan native, much like myself.
Was he really?
Yeah, Battle Creek, Michigan, home of Kellogg's.
Yeah, he started off with cornflakes. Mm-hmm. That was his first thing, and he was very much super a lot of really theological beliefs, very fundamentalist Christian sort of dude, and he thought also that masturbation was like these guys thought that it was like a mental illness.
The doctors were no fun back in the day.
You have to get the sin out.
Yeah, once you get the sin out,
once it's in there, how do you get it out?
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Which actually works out well because one of Kellogg's big things was enemas. So get the sin out, then you can put the good stuff in.
It's great.
Oh. Do you think that was John Henry Kellogg that coined that term? He was or John Harvey Kellogg.
The story with Kellogg's, I believe, was So it was like Kellogg and his brother founded the Kellogg Company, and Dr. Kellogg really wanted this bland, tasteless bullshit for people to eat in the morning to live healthy. He was a big unbuttered toast guy.
You watched the History Channel. I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But his brother was like, hey, man, we're making some money on this like sanatorium. Like, people are admitting themselves to be taken care of, and we're serving them this shit. We should just sell this shit. And Kellogg was like, no one's going to buy it. It tastes terrible. So the brother was like, we got to put sugar on it.
And then Frosted Flakes became
exactly.
a thing.
That's how it started.
Well, I think we can confidently say, fuck John Harvey Kellogg, because the last 30 years of his life were dedicated to promoting eugenics and segregation.
Oh, yeah, so, real big piece of shit.
Yeah, he was yeah, we've got a very specific voice in the room that's not into either one of those things. So, but yeah, he was. I mean, you know what? In the late 1800s and early 1900s, like, how many dudes were into eugenics and segregation?
Most of them, it seemed like.
Most of the white ones, at least.
That was a big
Most
deal.
of the old rich white ones sure were.
I think we all went through our period during that time. So.
So that's enough about those two horrible individuals. But so I've got some dates on here, and I don't know how much I'm gonna go into the dates, because the dates are some of the stuff that I found wasn't consistent with the dates that I saw when I first started researching. So I'm just gonna kind of give it a broad strokes. I'm not gonna say 1938. You know, I'm just gonna like give it a so. In the mid-50s, actually, this one I can give you the exact date because this is when this guy put out a book. We're keeping with the same topic. In 1957, a gentleman named Reverend Charlie Shedd wrote a book called The Pray Your Weight Away Diet. Pray your weight. You just ask Jesus real nice, and then you just
classic work for him.
Shit it right
Poor
out.
marketing. It should be like, shed those pounds.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, my God. Reverend Sheds.
Who's your manager?
Yeah. So
Rats.
he was
You could have done cool shit. You could have but you gotta carry a cross around.
Thank you.
You know,
you gotta go into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights without food or water, dude.
Just ask. Dear God, make me skinny.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I have sinned. I need to be thinner, please. What do I need to do? More Hail Marys? What is it? What do you need from me? So apparently he lost 100 pounds, and so the book was documenting his 100-pound weight loss. He lost 100 pounds. And it was one of the first modern weight loss books that was a Christian approach to dieting, which is... ugh. But he published more books later that are described as more blunt-spoken, fat-shaming, but also best-selling books about overeating as evidence of spiritual and personal failures. So you're fat because you suck at being spiritual, and just personally, you're a terrible piece of shit.
You're fat because God doesn't like you. You suck. Yeah.
You're bad at your job.
How long ago was this?
57 was Pray Your Weight Away, and then he wrote a couple later. So I tried my damnedest to find reviews on this book, and I couldn't. Even like going on Amazon, it was like not available. There were no reviews or anything. But I will say that Googling Pray Your Weight Away was fucking hysterical.
Sounds like a gold mine.
There were so many like recommendations for prayers to not be fat anymore. And
was it just people asking for others to pray for them? That's
the first thing I was thinking about.
That's another level of lazy.
Well, no.
Like, you won't even make the time to pray yourself.
I'm not even going to do the legwork, motherfucker. Can y'all pray for me, please?
Calling all my prayer warriors.
The praying seems like a lot of work. Y'all do it, please. No,
I can't get on my knees. I'm too fat. I'll never get up.
No, it was there were a lot of recommendations for prayers to say, to be, so it was like people who were like,
they
so you're
pre-wrote
fat.
prayers?
Yeah. So you're fat. Try this prayer out.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Is that something in Christianity that like you'll get better results.
Not that I'm aware of.
Prescribed prayers.
If you get like a better prayer, is that like it's like fishing? Like if you use the right bait.
It's
like you don't have to go to your doctor and get Ozempic. You could just go to your priest and ask what the right prayer is.
Like God is just like not paying attention, doing the dishes, and then he hears the right one. He's like, oh shit.
Oh, John.
Yeah, I got you.
Too fat to get on your knees still. I can send something down for you, buddy. Yeah, it was.
We're also not fat shaming. I want to point that out.
We're not. No, I don't feel like any of this is fat shaming, is it?
Not yet.
For the record, Jevon hasn't participated in any part of this.
For the record, Riley is fat. So.
Yeah, we all have a little extra around the tum tum. So you don't add us, please.
My winter weight.
Calling all prayer warriors.
Your winter weight. It's hot as balls outside.
Winter weight from '98.
The Winter Games.
Yeah.
The Olympic winter. Shaun White killed it that year. I decided to keep it.
It was 94.
Was it? No, 94 was.
I think.
Wait, 94 was no.
And again, his eyes didn't fluctuate, so I actually believed you.
It might be. Hey, you know what?
98 would have been Summer Olympics because 90. No, wait. 98 was. Stop. Hang on.
The Google.
No, 98. I can tell you right now. You don't need Google. 90. You can Google, but I'm gonna tell you right now. 98 was a World Cup year, which means that 96 would have been Summer Olympics and 2000 would have been Winter Olympics. I might be backwards on those two, but I know that 98 was a World Cup year, and the Olympics are alternate with that. France won the World Cup in 98, just FYI.
Was that the case back then? Didn't they have the summer and winter the same year?
So they do.
Back then.
Oh yeah, you're right. You
want to know how old we are?
Yeah, I do.
I think
his
I already
first
know.
win was in 2006.
2006.
I'm like, oh, it's 1994.
With Shaun White. He was 3.
Oh, yeah.
No, he was. Looks like not 8 years old. 8
Oh
years
wow,
old.
yeah, yeah. Probably still snowboards better than me, but at 8 years old. So yeah, we're not talking about World Cup. Well, I mean, we can't talk about the World Cup. I got some
World Cup.
World Cup knowledge. I just told you that France won the World Cup in 1998.
I was too busy looking up what year Shaun White won his first Olympic gold.
Sorry, my bad. So in the 60s, 70s, there was something called the Sleeping Beauty diet. Yeah, the Sleeping Beauty diet.
Is this a sleep your weight away diet?
Kind of, but in a very sort of like menacing, kind of not cool way.
I don't like this.
I'm intrigued.
So the idea was to eat a bunch of sedatives,
Nice.
Ooh.
take a bunch of pills,
Nice.
to avoid eating. It's a term called narcorexia, apparently, because it is an eating disorder.
Skinny through drugs.
Yeah, the concept is basically if you take enough sedatives to sleep up to 20 hours a day, like what the fuck do you get done?
Hell yeah, you lose a lot of weight.
I thought your metabolism slows down when you're sleeping.
That's one of the things that disproved it was that your metabolism slows down. So,
but I still feel like if you don't eat for days at a time,
I mean,
even if you're sleeping, that
it all has to do with caloric intake versus how much your body burns.
Yeah. The problem is just
take a lot of cocaine before you take the sedatives, and then
that evens out.
That just
regular
that just negates it, and then you just
sit and watch TV. You're good.
sounds like a good time.
But you're not hungry.
Got a belly full of something. I was thinking about like what the Sleeping Beauty diet would be, and the first thing that came to my head is like, what did Sleeping Beauty do? Let's see.
Slept.
She just slept and
below
then
a bunch of midgets.
Wow.
Oh no, that was Snow White.
Wow.
Sorry, little people.
Wow.
I know that's an offensive term.
we've talked about this before. Midgets are proportionate people under 5 feet.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean,
They're
I'll go back and
dwarves.
watch the cartoon again, but they seemed.
No, but Sleeping Beauty is pretty specifically like a lady who sleeps for a long time and then is just randomly sexually assaulted.
That is
She's
exactly
sleeping.
how that went down.
Yeah.
There's some deleted scenes where I think Bill Cosby was in the.
Yeah.
No, oh my God!
Oh, he was the spinning wheel.
Sleeping in the woods. No.
Oh, why don't you come over and play with the magic spinning
It's just an apple.
I don't even have to give her drugs. She's already asleep.
Okay, this is Jevon. This is the reason we call this show Delete Everything.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, it's not only that people have forgotten these things; it's that half of the shit we say is like, ooh, delete it.
And for the record, Jevon Bartley has not participated in any part.
For legal reasons,
Yeah.
I'm a notary. I can
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So you take enough sedatives to sleep up to 20 hours a day, and then you skip a bunch of meals and you lose weight. Do you want to know who famously participated in this diet?
Hold on, I kind of want
A
to.
famous person.
Yes.
What year was this really popular?
This would have happened in the 70s.
Okay, then.
Twiggy.
Ooh, Twiggy. That's a good guess. I want to say
Incorrect.
Who's Gerald Ford's wife?
I don't know.
Christine.
No, it's
Christina.
the
Mustache.
Virginia.
She has the one with the clinic, like the Ford
No,
clinic.
it wasn't her.
The
It wasn't
rehab,
her.
yeah.
We're talking about Betty Ford.
Betty Ford. Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
That wasn't
yeah.
his.
That's Gerald Ford's wife. Yeah,
Was it really?
she had a drug problem. They opened a bunch of clinics for her.
Oh, okay.
Like it's like in her name. Yeah,
Never knew that.
she was a big just say no person.
Um,
So I would say her probably.
well, it was actually Elvis Presley.
Ah,
Elvis Presley famously tried the diet in the 70s. Big old fat Elvis, before
Counter
before he
those
died.
peanut butter and banana fried peanut butter and banana
Bacon, yeah,
and
fried
sandwiches.
He hired a doctor, quote unquote doctor, to artificially put him in a coma.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how hardcore he was going in on this. He did not last very long though. At some point he came awake, he fell out of bed, and and he decided to be less drastic about his weight loss measures. And then he died on the toilet.
yeah. Well,
Jeez.
what are you gonna do? That was the next diet he was doing.
This shit your weight away.
Come on, baby.
Poor guy was all shook up.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
Oh,
So, all right. Moving on. This is one that I found that there's still like literature. There's still, by the way, Sleeping Beauty diet. Also, there's still like Reddit posts and stuff where people are like,
It's still a thing.
I was thinking about trying the Sleeping Beauty diet. Has anybody had any? Yeah, it's still a thing. And one lady was like, I saw one comment where she was like, Jesus fuck, something about like being the mother of like 4 kids and how it just like wasn't realistic for her to sleep like 20 hours a day. So she would just like, she's like 14 is, and then I can take care of my however many children. I think it was like 4 or some shit like that. I'm like, what are you doing?
usually when I take
Go for a jog.
When I take a bunch of like medicines and sleep for an entire day, I make it a weekend where I don't have my kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, you just brought up a good point. A jog takes an hour versus a 20-hour
Yeah,
nap.
that's a
Yeah, you
time
can go on
commitment.
14 jogs.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a time commitment.
And still ignore your children for
Come
most
on
of the
now.
day.
It's called winning, people.
In the 70s also, this came out, the grapefruit diet. And this is another one that, like, there are books that are, like,
I feel like I've heard about
much
this
more recent than the 70s that have come out. So,
I remember my grandmother doing that.
really?
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
Never really understood it.
The
But
first time that I came down to Florida, I remember I was a kid, and like we stayed with like a family at some condo, like people that I didn't know. And I remember there was an old lady there who kept saying like, "I've lost 4 pounds with the grapefruit diet."
Yeah.
There's a
Well-
big ass grapefruit tree.
Well, so here's the thing about the grapefruit diet, though, is that,
there's no nutrition.
well, yeah, that
Just
also.
consuming citric acid.
Yeah, no shit.
Doesn't have scurvy though.
It's
Don't have scurvy, but you got fucking terrible heartburn all the time.
well. So what you were saying about the I lost 4 pounds thing is, you know what? We'll get into it. So let me explain the diet first, right? It's also, by the way, known as the Hollywood diet and the 18-day diet. So
You only eat grapefruits for 18 days.
it's something like that.
Fuck
You
that.
only do the actual diet. The diet isn't only eating grapefruit, but you only supposed to do it originally for 18 days.
You eat a grapefruit and then take a bunch of pills and sleep.
So it's existed since the 30s, and there are variations on it, but it generally consists of eating 1 grapefruit at each meal, along with meat, eggs, and other foods that are rich in fat and protein, and certain vegetables. So probably anything that's like high in carbohydrates, high like sugar, like tomatoes and onions. They have
So it's just another filler.
Yeah, it's just more food.
It's a water. Well, it's a water-based filler.
Yeah.
I guess so.
So you don't have to eat as much bacon at dinner. Is that like...
So you can't. You're supposed to avoid sugar and fruit other than grapefruit. I guess it says you're supposed to avoid sugar, fruit, sweet vegetables, grains, and starchy vegetables. Right.
You're supposed to avoid.
You're supposed to avoid those, but the whole crux of this diet is a fruit. You know what?
Hold on a second. You have to eat like.
One grapefruit with each meal.
But high protein fatty foods like meats and
meat,
shit like
eggs, foods rich in fat and protein, and there are certain vegetables that are allowed.
Was this sponsored by the Grapefruit Farmers of America Association?
That's a good question.
I would not be surprised at all.
Like, we are not selling these fucking things. We gotta figure something out.
These are too fucking tart. Jesus
Sour
Christ, nobody
orange,
wants them.
like a big sour orange. Nobody wants them.
You can't have any other fruit.
Yeah. Make sure you don't. Make sure you don't touch any other fruits, okay? Except for this one fruit that looks really delicious until you take a bite of it and you're like, oh God, it's in the back of my throat.
When you're
No sugar,
kid,
no sugar.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, like your grandma or something, be like, yeah, we got your grapefruit for breakfast.
Oh
And
my
you
God.
just put sugar on it. Put a fuckload of sugar.
To
on
this
it.
day, every time I'm like, well, maybe my tastes have changed and I will
No.
and I will like grapefruit juice. Let me try a little bit.
Nope.
It like it's got this tartness to it that I just can't. It fucking kills me.
I have a bag of grapefruits in my refrigerator right now, and just this second is the first time I've even thought about them. I didn't even think about them when they like came into my house.
Are you going on the grapefruit diet?
No,
Is that what,
they've been
is
invisible.
that how we find this out?
Inside the fridge, they have been invisible. Like they register.
For how long? They might not be good
Probably
anymore.
aren't. But like they register that they're there, but there's never been a thought in my mind that I'm going to eat one of those fucking things.
Jesus Christ.
Just like, oh, there's some paperweights in the fridge.
Well, so
That's the first thing you think of. The first thing that came to mind for me was so much drama in the L.B.s. It's got,
with the low budget carbo. No, anyway. So yeah, it's a low carb diet basically, is what you know. So
it's a no carb diet.
It's fucking.
Your normal breakfast. Well, I mean, there are some carbohydrates in this.
It's the Atkins plus grapefruit.
We're going to talk about that a little later. We're going to talk about Atkins and all of its iterations. But so your normal breakfast on the grapefruit diet is obviously grapefruit, but also bacon and eggs. And I don't know why that's the one meal that they decided to tell us about, but it's based on the claim that grapefruit has a fat-burning enzyme or some kind of similar property, which has not been at all medically confirmed. As a matter of fact,
That's awesome.
yeah, as a matter of fact, most nutritionists and physicians have been like, no.
That's because there's no such thing as a fat burning enzyme.
Right. I mean, I don't.
You don't just eat a food and it eats your fat away.
I don't know that
not
doesn't
how
exist.
Anything works.
I don't know that doesn't exist per se, but you know.
But if it did,
I mean, like the closest
It would be in a
fat
grapefruit.
burning
It would be
enzyme
in a disgusting.
would be like hydrochloric acid. That's all. That's the only thing that's gonna eat.
I'm surprised I haven't seen a hydrochloric acid diet, honestly, with all the shit I've seen.
please don't, people. Please.
But it has, however,
Well,
been
we
commented.
Delete Everything are not endorsing
Don't.
hydrochloric acid
Jesus
diet.
Christ. Do we have to say that? We do have to say
Might
we
as
that.
do
well.
have to say
A
it.
little disclaimer.
Don't drink hydrochloric acid, people. Thank you.
But if you do,
But if you do,
You think
do a
hot
very
Cheetos?
small amount.
You think hot Cheetos burn on the way out?
Oh.
You just fucking. But so it has been commented by physicians and nutritionists that it lacks all the necessary minerals such as calcium, phosphorus, and iron, and vitamin A. The grapefruit diet, quote, does not require exercise. So that's, good. I wonder if you maybe put some of these together. You pray for your fat to go away. You eat a grapefruit.
You take a nap.
You take a fuck ton of sedatives.
and then some cocaine,
Do some cocaine.
And then,
it could work.
and then
On your
eat-
way up.
And
And if that's all you do for a while, I bet you, yeah, you're probably going to lose some
Probably
weight.
would.
and don't jack off.
That's the
out.
real one.
I'm out. I'm out.
Nowadays, the grapefruit diet lasts for 10 to 12 days, followed by 2 days off. So that's how you're supposed to do it. 10 to
too
12
much.
days, 2 days off, and then right back into the fucking fire.
I'm just going to ask God.
As you're doing this, as you're doing your research, did you see any testimonies in favor of some of these things?
I looked, so I look for all this stuff. The thing is, so many, like, so these were popular so long ago, obviously pre-internet. And so now most of what I find whenever I look for it is like people asking questions about it, or, you know, sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I tried it and it was great. And it's kind of like, meh, you know. But I do, however, have some funny internet reviews on this next diet. And that is called the cookie diet.
Ooh, 5 stars all across the board.
Up. Say less.
The cookie diet, which is not as cool as it sounds. So because you have to buy specific cookies.
Are they miserable like shit cake cookies?
Probably. I haven't personally tried them.
Pecan sandies.
Yeah. Those Rob Lowe cookies are.
Yeah, it's like a company that's like, try these. Dr. Siegel is one of them.
Fucking dry, sandy fucks.
Yeah, so there's
Kellogg's brother still out.
Exactly, still out there.
So yeah, it's another. It's another.
These cookies are just big cornflakes.
They're great.
Big disgusting cornflakes and just fucking turn into soggy mush once they hit your spit.
What are the like tortilla flatbread crackers? Tostadas? Not tostadas.
I thought you were talking about rice cakes.
No, like fucking.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
tostadas are the hard, like circular. The fried. It's basically a tortilla chip, but it's just a big circle.
Exactly. Yeah. Like that, except not good.
Well, I don't think
I like tostadas.
They're amazing.
I don't know that those would be good if you just ate it by itself.
But tostadas?
Yeah,
they are.
Just take a big circular tostada and just crunch out.
You've never eaten a tostada?
Good
First
point.
of all, that's not a Brazilian thing.
Uh-oh.
There are a lot of countries in Latin America that have a lot of different cuisine, Riley.
And all of them have tostadas.
They don't. Fuckhead.
Listen, I guarantee their tostadas are Brazil.
There are just like there are tostadas in the United States.
Exactly,
America.
I've had them.
And there are tostadas in Madrid, Spain, probably. You know, they're all over the place. Doesn't mean they come from there. Anyway, the cookie diet does not require eating dry tostadas. It probably requires eating something way more disgusting. So yeah, it's a meal replacement in the form of a specially formulated cookie. In 1975, while researching a book on the effect of natural food substances on hunger, South Florida physician Sanford Siegel developed a mixture of certain amino acids and baked them into a cookie intended to control his patient's hunger. Sounds like
a protein shake.
It sounds like horse shit is what it sounds like.
Sounds like an edible protein shake.
Yeah.
He found a mixture of certain amino acids. Which ones? Tell me.
The ones that cause you to lose weight.
The good ones.
The ones that make you not hungry. So he told his patients to consume 6 cookies, which equal about 500 calories, during the day to control hunger, and a dinner of approximately 300 calories in the evening. So you're getting 800 calories a day, which is
not a lot. Not a lot of calories.
No.
Yeah, 60% of your.
Yeah. So I did.
Which will work.
Yeah, which work. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you're not hungry and you eat less than you should eat, you'll probably lose some weight.
If you're eating this thing now, I'm guessing it will expand in your stomach.
Yeah, right. Like a fucking compressed towelette.
Yeah. You're getting no nutritional value. Yeah. I'm assuming.
Just sawdust cake.
I did find, so there were several different. The only one I can still find really is Dr. Siegel, but there were several cookie diets. One was Smart for Life cookie diet.
Is that spelled like Jason Siegel or
Jason Siegel? Not like the bird that steals your food on the beach.
Or Steven Seagal?
No, it's Siegal.
I see.
But yeah, there was a Smart for Life cookie diet, Dr. Siegel's cookie diet, Hollywood cookie diet, R&D cookie diet. There were several. So all of them require 4 to 6 cookies a day, sometimes in addition to other foods, such as 1 meal of 6 ounces of meat, in the case of the Siegel diet. So I actually...
This is just being poor.
What if you made a grapefruit cookie?
No nutritional value, and it tastes fucking horrible.
Without the sugar.
You just make the shitty cookie even worse.
Trying to eat this cookie, you're just like, oh god, burns.
So I did find an online review of Dr. Siegel's diet chocolate cookies.
Ooh.
These are 7 resealable bags containing 6 cookies each. Ooh. So I'm guessing about what you're right. It's 6 a day, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to eat?
Yeah.
So you have 7 days worth of cookies in this thing.
But they're chocolate.
They're chocolate. They are diet chocolate cookies.
Oh, you know what? This whole diet goes right out the window.
Why is that?
You'll get fat from all the milk.
I don't think you're supposed to do milk with them.
Well, then
You got to break those things up somehow.
the hell?
I'm looking at a photo of them, and they look just disgusting. They look like ground up like oats and flax and all the grains that nobody really wants to eat that are like, it's just chocolate colored, not chocolate covered.
Miserable shit cakes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I found a couple of reviews here. I'm gonna start with a 5-star one. Right?
Okay.
You guys want to hear a 5-star review about Dr. Siegel's
Please.
chocolate diet cookies? Okay. This is from Reb, R-E-B, Reb.s. And this was a verified Amazon purchase. She said, after eating these, I'm actually not hungry. That's the name of her review.
Wow.
With 4 exclamation points. After eating these, I'm actually not hungry. 4 exclamation points.
Whoa.
This review is from 2009, so it's a little bit dated. But Reb says, hunger is absolutely what's been my Achilles heel when dieting. And these cookies actually get rid of it. The first week on them was really hard, but so's the first week of every new diet I've ever started. After the first week, it got much, all caps, much easier. The chocolate cookies are pretty good, and then in parentheses, but definitely get the idea of, quote, cookie out of your head and think of it like an all right tasting thing that will give you a chance to eat something and will get rid of your hunger with a glass of water in about 15 minutes. So she's saying... By the way, she didn't end her parentheses there. She just went on to the next.
Oh, I hate that.
It is what it is. So, first of all, a diet where I get to a diet that's called a cookie diet,
Not a cookie.
where I'm actually eating an all right tasting thing.
That's like definitely it's definitely the kind of thing where you get like your first shipment of cookies in the mail and you look at it and every single person goes, "What the?"
What is the return policy?
This is my diet, guys. She also says, and eat each cookie slowly. She spells out slowly, slowly, or you'll just be bummed out that eating them has the potential to be a quick experience. I don't know what that means.
What?
Say that again.
Eat each cookie slowly, or you'll just be bummed out that eating them has the potential to be a quick experience. Eating everything has the potential to be a quick experience.
Have a fucking real quick carbonara, you know?
Sounds like Reb.s is a bit gluttonous and
Yeah, she maybe has a little bit of a self-control issue.
yeah, exactly. Hence why she's on the diet.
I think it's more like she ate one too fast and then like reached for another and was like, oh.
Does she just normally eat her food like Garfield housing a pan of lasagna, just gone in 2 seconds?
I mean, if you eat one diet cookie and it causes you to lose weight, eating 2, you lose more. Right?
Extra, you've lost more weight,
Yeah.
and then you prayed. So I don't know,
Put some cocaine on your grapefruit.
Who needs sugar? I put cocaine on my grapefruit.
That's the real Florida diet.
She says, I tried both the oatmeal and the chocolate cookies. I like the chocolate better, but the oatmeal did grow on me, and I like mixing the two, so I've got some variety.
Yeah,
Wow.
I like mixing the two.
Menage
She's
cookies.
making fucking diet chocolate, diet oatmeal Sammys and fucking just
Menage those cookies, baby.
It sounds like she's just eating all of the cookies every time.
With some ice cream in between.
Yeah, exactly.
It's working so well, I swear. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. If you find you still need to be eating something throughout the day, like I do,
Like a sandwich.
I just had 0 point veggies.
Huh?
I guess that's a point system maybe on what else you eat.
Is that like the Jenny Craig diet had the point system?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
One of those. Yeah.
I think
Anyway,
it was, yeah.
I just had 0 point veggies, again in parentheses. It's incredible how yummy a bowl of broccoli or tomato can seem after a meal or two of cookies, quote unquote.
After
If-
eating just fucking bricks of just sawdust.
Oh my God, they've got to be
Vegetables
so
are
bad.
amazing.
If for no other reason than it takes a while to eat and it adds some variety. I'm really psyched about these cookies, and I just ordered my second month's worth. Knowing I've got something that really truly takes that feeling of hunger away is so freeing. I feel like there's hope for me to lose all the weight I want now without my having to battle my brain that is so hard to fight once my tummy starts growling. That's Reb
Why
S.
doesn't Reb just eat the broccoli then?
That's a solid point.
Common sense is not
Right.
common.
That
You can
is
do it
a-
steamed.
Oh my
You can put
God.
olive oil on it. You know.
Yeah. Just a little bit of salt and pepper.
Seasoning?
You don't want to get too crazy with it.
Make
You know?
make a like a tomato summer salad. You know?
Yeah,
Those are
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Because it's not shipped through Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Well, this isn't a miracle.
No
cure.
one's sending, no one's sending me a spinach salad on Amazon. Get with it, Bezos. So, would you like to hear a 1-star rating about these cookies?
Oh hell yeah!
Tastes like shit.
Here's the thing: most of the 1-star ratings have more to do with the price than anything. But this is going to.
How much are these
price.
cookies?
Well, we're about to get right into that. Silena. It's Silena.
Selena.
But that's not traditionally how you spell that. But anyway, so Selena said 1 star, verified purchase. In October 2010, this is the title of her review. Is there a 0 rating? These cookies taste like flour dough.
Nice. There's a reason for that.
And she goes on to say, these are the worst tasting cookies. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exclamation points. They taste like flour dough. This is at least 12 exclamation points after that. I'm not getting close enough to count those. This 1 week supply cost me $108.
No.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The ad reads has a month's supply, 4 weeks. I'm guessing that's a direct quote. I'm guessing she's trying to say the ad reads that it's a month supply.
It's $15 a day, so it's not. It's a meal, right?
I guess.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what the date is on this thing, but
This is from 2010, so this is 14 years old.
okay, $15 a day.
Who would pay $108 for 1 week supply of these cookies? She's just eating them like
You.
regular cookies.
You did,
you
Selena.
just did,
You
Selena.
fucking
You
idiot.
dumb motherfucker. Okay. Who would pay $108 for 1 week supply of those cookies, and everyone else is selling them for much less?
Oh,
Please check the seller before you order any product from Amazon. This is all caps. Do not order from : parentheses, all caps, the new mall, 3 exclamation points, and parentheses. This seller has no telephone number, and I have not yet resolved my order with them since last May 5th, 2010. I did return the item. Even, Amazon is having a hard time granting me the buyer's guarantee, with this company. That's terrible.
That's just badly written.
Terrible.
That's just badly written all around.
I have done everything the seller asked of me, and they are still holding my all caps refund with 12 exclamation points.
cookies don't stay fresh forever, especially cardboard cookies.
By the way, 10 people found this helpful.
Also, what
10 people went and hit the thumbs up on
could
that.
they just ship the cookie mix?
Ooh,
A little box of the powder, you
Just
just
a
mix it up some water.
box of
You
flour.
think
The
you
bottle of
think that Dr. Siegel is going to give up his proprietary blend of special amino acids designed to curb hunger and make you lose fucking weight? Jesus, get with it.
Ground alfalfa.
Flaxseed. Jesus. Well, that's the cookie diet. How do you feel about that one, guys?
Less enthusiastic.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I would eat cookies for a diet, sure.
You would eat good cookies. You would eat cookies that you pick to eat for a
Yeah, I
diet.
do that already.
You would not eat Dr. Siegel's fucking...
Oh, I just don't trust the name.
It's the reverse diet.
Yeah, first I eat more.
Come on.
Lose weight.
I like that.
I
Right?
wish I could do a Siegel impression because I would love to just like the high pitch.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was That was a one-off. I bet I couldn't repeat it.
Try it. You're right. It was bad.
I sound like a guy falling off a cliff in the distance. This one's a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
If only for the fart jokes.
Nice.
In the 80s, this goes by.
Tell me it's a bean diet.
This goes back way further than the 80s, considerably further than the 80s. But in the 80s, it got popular again for like whatever iteration. But the cabbage soup diet.
Heard of that?
Cabbage soup diet was a radical weight loss diet designed around heavy consumption of a low-calorie cabbage soup over 7 days. The typical claimed intent of the diet was to lose 10 pounds of weight in a week. Though nutritional experts point out that it is nearly impossible to lose that much fat within a week, most of that's water weight, and as soon as you start eating normally again, you get it right back. No jokes on. No, okay.
I mean, I've got one locked and loaded. Charlie Bucket from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. They only ate cabbage soup.
That was Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
Oh yeah.
Charlie in the Chocolate Factory was that horrible abortion with Johnny Depp as a. Wow. That was a bad movie.
That was fine. Whatever.
It was a bad movie.
You know, I used to hate it, but then my daughter Charlie really liked it when she was a kid, and I tried to be like, "No, you're an idiot. You should watch. You should watch the old one." She's like, "No, I like the dances." Like, fine. Nah, it kind of grew on me. Not the Johnny Depp performance, but the rest of it.
I didn't like it.
But
most people
in the
didn't
book, because I read the book.
Oh, big rolled doll guy here.
Actually, yeah, I read all his shit. I mean, I know he's kind of a anti-Semite, but that came out later.
Yeah, a lot of real bad images of like Africans too.
Yeah, there's some problems with Roald
Dahl. Weren't the Oompa Loompas originally little black pygmies?
Yeah,
in the original book.
That tracks.
That is true.
Yeah, there's some issues with
like bones through their noses. They the real like silly cartoonish view of like
Looney Tunes.
Well, yeah. When did he write that book?
Like 1952.
Yeah. Still seems like you should have probably seen enough black people at that point, guy.
That never like
you could smoke in a doctor's office. No, there are no rules in the 50s.
You can smoke in an airplane.
We survived World War II. We can do whatever the hell we want to do.
Jesus.
But that book I always just liked. But yeah, they drink cabbage soup. That's like their main diet. That's what they can afford.
So
and then the sequel, the Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. Charlie gets his whole family. This is true. He gets his whole family together, and they get in the Great Glass Elevator, and they go to fucking space.
Ooh.
And they fight aliens on the world's first space hotel.
Ooh. What?
Yeah, the Vermicious Knids. Yeah.
What?
Huh.
That's the aliens, Vermicious Knids.
Well, there's a reference to that in the.
Yeah, they do throw a little reference in there in the movie, and then they. I want to say it's been a long time since I read it, but I'm pretty sure that they're thought of as like space terrorists, but then they get an official pardon from the president of the United States.
That in space.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what all the space aliens are really going for.
I mean, to be fair, I think that Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator is a superior story to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, if only for the space adventure,
the sci-fi aspect,
the fighting aliens, and then the little old people.
His family
around inside
Wait, his
the elevator.
family fights them.
Yeah, they're all
bedridden.
All of them, but not in
Good
space.
point.
Not in space. They're not
because they don't have the gravity to fight.
Float.
Yeah.
What are they just pulling each other around by their arms?
Pretty much, yeah.
using the lack of gravity.
The science isn't very clear. I'll say that.
Well, and they're on another planet.
Loosely interpreted.
They're on another planet.
They're at a space hotel orbiting the Earth.
Nice.
Okay, I guess that would.
Yeah, because apparently Vermicious Knids just kind of float around in space all over, and they're like real dickheads.
They had a reservation.
It's actually Vermicious.
They had a reservation.
Vermicious Knids are the reasons we see shooting stars. You know, they say it's like space rocks going through the atmosphere. Nope, Knids.
Knids just
he's
sticking around
shooting stuff or what?
Shooting stars.
He's shooting stars.
No, the Vermicious Knids. It's a race of aliens that look like I want to say snakes, and they try to attack the planet because they're bad guys or something, and they burn up like a comet. Apparently, like 95% of shooting stars are Vermicious Knids in this literary universe.
Oh, I thought it was all around, like for real.
Knit is just dink backwards.
Yeah, sure is.
Okay. So, cabbage soup diet.
As seen on.
As seen on. Hey, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you guys about the cabbage soup diet.
Listen, Charlie Bucket loves it. Grandpa Joe loves it.
Jevon Bartley loves it. You should smell the studio right now.
Yes.
It is just fart central.
Listen, Grandpa Joe was bedridden for 20 years.
And then just
one hit of the cabbage soup hops right out of bed.
Jesus. So it dates as far back as 175 BC.
Ooh.
Cato the Elder promoted eating plenty of cabbage. Not only it promoted eating plenty of cabbage, but also drinking the urine of people who had a high diet high in cabbage.
That's a joke.
No,
That's not.
sense.
That's
That makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, drink cabbage piss. Yeah.
If you can't get cabbage,
Drink the piss of
you
someone
find
who can.
somebody who's got a lot of cabbage and you say, "Hey, what are you doing with that pee?"
Are you just gonna drain it into the ground there?
It's an early version of sauerkraut, right? The vinegar. And
Oh,
God, gross.
pH content.
yeah, it just.
Oh,
Oh
if
my
you can
God.
make the soup with cabbage piss,
You cabbage and piss,
That's
and
it.
you boil it.
that's the doubles the health effects.
You're just gonna dump that pee out? What are you- I'll take it. I got a jar right
You've been
here.
eating a lot of cabbage, right?
I noticed all the cabbage you got in the
Knock
kitchen.
knock. Hey, I got a question for you. I noticed you got a lot of cabbage growing around here.
What do you guys do? I
Where
mean,
do you guys?
what do you guys eat that every day? You eat
Where do
that
you guys pee?
every day? Every day you eat the cabbage, right? And then where do you pee? Show me where you pee.
It was for the cabbage, I swear.
Oh my God. I don't just want to drink pee.
It's a diet.
Cato the Elder told me it was good for me.
That was just Cato the Elder's cake. It was just like,
Cato the He's just going around ancient Greece like, you guys, how much cabbage you eat today? How much? Not enough? Here, well, actually, I brought
No,
it.
it's like
I've
he's-
got a cart of cabbages. Let me tell you what. I'm going to give you these cabbages for free.
I'll come back tomorrow.
I just want one thing. I just want one thing in return. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. I'm gonna give you a cabbage. I'm gonna give you a jar.
I think it may very well just be something like Cato the Elder was caught drinking piss.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was already famous for the cabbage diet.
And he's
So it's
like,
like, no, this is cabbage piss. It is a big. It's the second part of my routine.
I hadn't gotten around to telling you guys about part 2 of the
Get
diet.
everybody to eat the cabbage first, and then you gotta sneak the piss part in.
What's the whole population
But it's
eating
the
lots
part
of
that works the
cabbage?
best.
This is the part that loses the weight, right? First, I had to get everybody eating cabbage, right? You just listen, hear me out. Once everybody's eating the cabbage, part 2, weight loss, right? Oh boy! Hey, side effects of the diet can include well, not if you're drinking the piss. Dehydration, headaches, dizziness, nausea, fatigue, gas. Like you didn't even have to put that one in there. Bloating, muscle loss, brain fog, and nutrient deficiencies.
Brain fog. That's not real.
It's-
But you're protected from jellyfish, so.
so
They'll stay away.
from the inside, I protect myself from jellyfish from inside out.
My pH level is so high that they can't even sting me.
I sting them, motherfucker.
Take that.
Yeah, so you're dehydrated, you got a headache, you're dizzy, you're nauseous.
Yeah, drinking
You're
piss and eating cabbage all
you're
day.
farting up a storm because you're bloated with muscle loss. You're confused because you fucking, oh my God. Cabbage diet sounds cool.
I mean, to be fair, I actually like cabbage soup a lot, but I was just raised Irish, so it's a thing. If you season it, well, it's really good.
What
If you
goes in?
season anything well.
Good point. What
Yeah.
goes in cabbage soup?
It's cabbage.
I've had it with like onions and carrots and stuff
Yeah,
in
you
there
can put shit in
too.
it. Soup. What? It's like,
I've had cabbage soup
you
before.
know, I had cream of mushroom soup earlier today.
Cabbage.
What did I put on it? Onions. It was good.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
Smart. You know what?
So, sorry, you just boil cabbage,
Yeah, you just boil cabbage, salt and pepper.
bacon.
This is Irish Catholic food.
By the way, we didn't go into this.
This is like
this man is
anti-sin food.
This man is a chef. This man is caters.
So you know what
he's
I'm saying.
He's a catering
you know what I'm talking
business.
about.
Obviously,
Cabbage.
no cabbage soup. So
Yeah.
sorry.
He, which is why we, well, no, because we invited you for lots of silly other ones.
Yeah.
It just so happened that we were doing diet fads on the day we have a phenomenal chef. By the way, this man has cooked for me, and it is, ugh.
Jevon Bartley, everybody.
Yeah. Yay.
Never started my own applause before. That's awesome.
I do it every
Is that a
episode.
first for you?
Yeah.
I got a jar of cabbage piss for you if you want to hit some more firsts today.
Let's put that on the menu.
Bucket list check.
Yeah, it's like a sorbet, you know, in between courses, you just get a
Just a little cabbage piss.
cabbage piss.
All right, we have officially made drinking cabbage piss the most successful bit of the show thus
I
far.
like it. I like it.
Just gonna take a quick break from the show to tell you guys about drinking cabbage piss.
Available at Macy's.
Macy's.
If you can find one that's open, just full of cabbage piss. Well, it's full of bums, so I mean,
Ask
it
your
stands
doctor
to reason.
if cabbage piss is for you.
Your
Side
cabbage
effects
pitch destination.
side effects include farting your back out, dizziness, headaches, suicidal thoughts, brain fog.
Icky stomach, taste of piss. That's
Oh God! Whole town talking shit about you.
Did you hear about?
Jesus Christ!
Excuse me, you're on what diet?
Okay. Oh my God! All right.
Don't talk to him, little Jimmy.
You don't want to talk to.
Oof. All right. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? The 1981 year I was born, Beverly Hills Diet. Mm-hmm.
Caviar and
Swimming pool.
Yeah.
swimming pools, and crude oil and
Was that was that a fucking Beverly Hillbillies? So it was another fad diet. You know, these so like after like a lot of these, you know, they get popular, and then like once the label fad diet is like, this isn't a real diet.
People,
like nutritionists go, this doesn't work.
We never talked about what a fad diet really is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's a bullshit diet.
It's a bullshit
bullshit diet
diet
that gains popularity for a hot minute, and then you know.
But it's not bullshit until you get the fat label.
It's not. Yeah,
exactly.
Well,
That's it,
So after they make their millions,
yeah. So as soon as you know it gets enough notoriety that like people with actual degrees in things can look at it and go, no, that's not okay.
Cabbage piss really doesn't work, y'all.
Yeah, but like fucking what like Pliny the Elder or whatever. That shit was
Cato
like,
the Elder.
Cato the Elder. He lived and died with that. Like it's like a moneymaker.
But I've already
Fucking
spent
mouthful of cabbage piss.
I've already spent $108 on these cookies.
Selling cabbage, island to island.
Yeah, this is fucking Jesus Christ. All right.
That's what you really find out is Cato the Elder. Cato Kalin the Elder.
Cato Kalin the Elder.
Was just a cabbage magnet.
Yeah.
He's like traveling from island
He heard
to
it.
island.
He
with
heard a
cabbage.
noise outside, and he was like, "Drink some cabbage pee." Wasn't that Cato Kalin's big thing? He looked at the OJ trial. He was like, "I heard something outside."
Yeah, that was it. That was his whole bit.
That was his whole thing.
Yeah.
I just heard something outside.
I remember when
Well, yeah, someone got murdered. 2 people got murdered.
Yeah, it was a savage and horrifying murder. I remember in the early 2000s, Norm Macdonald's went on Celebrity Who Wants to Be a Millionaire,
Okay.
and like they were like talking to him and interviewing, and
He had all the OJ jokes.
Regis Philbin. Yeah, I know, but this is the best part. Regis Philbin was like, and I hear you've got a guest with you today. He goes, oh yeah, and he points to the stands and fucking Cato Kalin's there.
Oh
Wow.
my
Cato
God.
Kalin came and was like, yeah, Cato and I are good buddies.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
And then there he was, front and center, like, hey, big fan.
All right, so
Yeah, you go.
in 1981, author Judy Mazzell wrote a best-selling book called The Beverly Hills Diet. Apparently, she had tried and failed to lose weight with a bunch of programs previous to that. And she developed a diet plan after spending 6 months working together with a nutritionist in Santa Fe.
And / plastic surgeon.
It came out of Santa Fe, New Mexico, so there's a big question mark right out the gates.
Wait a second. We've already covered cocaine.
Peyote, my friend.
Yeah.
So under her program, she was able to trim down from a weight of 180 pounds to 108 pounds. So the exact amount it cost to buy those cookies.
It all comes together. I'm seeing
The
threads on
big
threads.
conspiracy. After completing development of the program and returning to Los Angeles, she opened a weight loss clinic whose clients included a number of celebrities. The Beverly Hills Diet is predicated on the enzymatic actions of foods in the digestive process. It controlled weight by controlling when foods were eaten and in what combinations.
That's fat-burning enzymes again.
Weird. It's weird, the whole thing. So wait, I want to get into this because this shit's hilarious. The plan begins with consumption of a series of specified fruits in a designated order for the initial 10 days of the diet. So for the first 10 days, you've got this list of fruits that you have to eat in a certain fucking order. 10 days.
Banana, orange, apple.
You can't mix. Yeah.
And then, well, I don't know what...
again.
On diabetic grapefruit's in there. On days 11 to 18, the dieter can add bread, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 3 cobs of corn.
What's with the...
11 to 18.
Why were the cobs like a bad thing? And 3 a day?
Corn
Seems
is
like
a
a lot of
starchy.
corn.
Corn's a starchy.
Corn
vegetable.
has little nutritional value.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
especially
that's
once
true,
you boil it. Yeah,
Yeah, it goes right through you.
Yeah.
It's mostly just a vehicle with which to put salt and butter. In your
Pretty
body.
much,
which is
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, which is the most delicious thing on earth.
Sources of complete protein such as steak or lobster cannot be consumed until day 19 of the plan. The diet divides foods into 3 groups: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. The carbohydrate category is further divided into subgroups, including, quote, fruits, as well as 3 levels of carbohydrates. Wine, incidentally, is placed in the fruits subcategory, while most other alcoholic beverages are placed in the maxi-carb subcategory, based on the claim that other alcoholic beverages take the longest to digest.
I actually saw a video earlier today that was like a dietitian talking about how like red wine being good for you is it's just been bullshit.
Yeah.
Forever. but like the myth of it came from the idea that the people who could afford red wine probably could also afford a doctor.
Perfect. I was going to say this chick didn't want to alienate her friend.
Yeah,
It's like you're gonna want to. You can still
she's
drink.
got a-
Still
that's
drink.
all-
It's fine.
Yeah, she's got a weight loss clinic in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
She's like,
It's
oh, yeah,
a-
wine's
yeah.
good. Wine's
It's
fine.
a fruit. No,
Yeah, none of the other ones, but drink all the wine you
Wine,
want. It's
ketchup, fruit.
That and Cristal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, champagne falls into there.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. The diet argues that carbohydrates and proteins should never be combined or eaten on the same day. So if you're having a carb day, you only eat carbs. If you're having a protein day, you only eat protein. So no more fettuccine Alfredo, I guess.
I'm gonna try to.
Segregation. That's it.
I'm trying to figure this
Chicken
out. Though,
Alfredo.
like,
You can't.
so
It's weird. The whole
in
thing.
the order is like you eat a banana first because it creates a protective banana layer, and then like what is the order? Once it's in your stomach, it doesn't
Exactly.
layer.
Exactly.
It's your stomach's a bucket of bubbling goop. Like it's gonna
It's
bob
like
around and
like
get
an
mixed in.
archaeological dig
Like,
in
what
your
the fuck?
stomach. Where you got
That doesn't make any.
That's got to be the
goddamn
feces,
sense.
right? It comes out like
It's like you can see right
It's like,
here.
no.
yeah.
you clearly reversed the
Once
grapes.
I started the Beverly Hills diet, my shit started coming out striped. You can see every
They
layer.
do have grapes on day 2.
Oh, there's those 3 cobs of corn.
Just the corn layer.
The corn layer. The corn layer sounds
jeez.
so fucking gross. The corn. Blech. Oh god.
It's like, you get this kind of like a dark greenish part. That was the cabbage
The
bits.
cabbage bit. Oh my god. Ugh.
This
so yeah,
this is taking a grosser turn than I
This is,
expected it to.
this is obviously categorized as a fad diet.
Really?
Yeah, no shit, right?
Stupider than fuck.
Nutritionists have noticed that the diet is unbalanced with potential hazards such as diarrhea, potassium deficiency, and heart arrhythmia.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so You're really not doing yourself any good.
I mean, it's naturally unbalanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
It's intentionally.
yeah. No shit.
intentionally.
Right. Additionally, a report published in the Journal of the American Medical Association in 1981 criticized the diet, where the authors were critical of the diet's claim that weight gain results from undigested food that is stuck in the body. That's one of the things that this diet said was like, oh yeah, you get fat because you've got undigested food stuck in your body.
That's
So the layers
fucking-
help force.
So
Yeah.
so
you're just like
you go
just coring
yeah,
yourself out.
you go banana, apple, grapefruit, grapes. You said a lot of people get those two. You get a lot of people go grapes, grapefruit. No, it's grapefruit, grapes.
This is based on
strawberries.
This is based on.
And then you shit out all the excess weight that's stuck in your body.
This is fucking based on Italian food. This when you
What?
eat
What?
when you get like a 3 or 4 course Italian meal,
Uh-huh.
you start specifically with like a salad because it like blocks your asshole so the food doesn't run through you. And later, like the whole science behind eating Italian food
Because
is
it
that-
doesn't break down as
exactly it
quickly.
doesn't break down as quickly, so it creates like a roughage blocker, right?
I thought eating the salad at the end helped digest.
It
better.
does, but it's like a capper.
It's a capper.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's why at the end of the Italian meal you get like a digestif. You know, a little espresso or something
Before
like
you
that.
start, you get an aperitif.
Yeah, there you go.
And then
Yeah,
in
I was
the
gonna
middle,
say
you
that-
get a Metz. What's a Metz something? There's a mezzi something that goes in between.
The mezzanine,
The
No, it's not a mezzanine.
New York Mets.
God damn it.
the mezzopissimo.
I don't. You're just making shit up now.
Sounded Italian.
Yeah. There's a drink. There's a name for what
So
happens in between.
it's crazy, but it actually, in a crazy way, makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's just a weird take on it.
It
yeah.
makes sense,
She-
except for it's complete bullshit.
It's complete bullshit. I get it, but you're it sounds like you're getting to the point where you're enjoying some food, whatever your foods are, and then you have an obscene amount of fibrous foods that kind of force it down. And I get it.
Right.
It's stupid, but I get it.
If the initial premise wasn't so ridiculous that you're fat because you have a bunch of undigested food stuck
Yeah.
in
That's
you.
ridiculous.
That's the part
Like I can
where,
feel I can feel the cheeseburger in my fat ass right now.
it just never came out.
It's just I gotta poke it right here on my side.
it's like swallowing a penny. It's like I never saw it come out. It must be stuck in there. Jesus Christ. So yeah, the Journal of the American Medical Association criticized that claim. They also expressed concerns about the combination of large amounts of fruit with little salt, noting that significant water loss from diarrhea could produce fever, muscle weakness, and a rapid pulse, and that blood pressure could drop low enough to cause death.
That tracks really well too because most fruit juices are diuretics.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not eating anything else. You just don't.
Yeah.
And then you end up shitting your brains out.
Is part
and
of
then
this
you
diet
have-
like drinking a fuckload of water?
Yeah,
I don't know. I hope not, or at least like
That would be good.
getting some electrolytes in the mix, some salt, potassium, calcium, something in there.
We did we talk about this on the podcast? The time that I was working with you all day in the sun, we were doing that deck job. And I was like on the cut table, and I fucking didn't eat anything all day. I was trying to eat vegan at the time, but like I woke up, I didn't have time to prepare vegan food, so I just went to work with like drank a cup of coffee and like ran out, and then came back home running late to take my wife to a concert, Thundercat.
Oh yeah, we were
Ponte
at
Vedra-
that concert together,
Yeah, yeah.
and you just told me the story the other day.
Yeah, Ponte Vedra Concert Hall, and I didn't have time to cook anything because we were running late, so I just fucking slammed another cup of black coffee, and then I passed out in the merchandising line.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you really need fats. Those are important.
Yeah, that's
Sustenance.
Sustenance,
Yeah.
food.
just
Yeah.
balanced diet of things.
Not black coffee.
Yeah, that was my
Not
first,
vegetables and black coffee for weeks.
That was my first ever like, oh, you're too old to just treat yourself like shit forever. Yeah,
And, well,
Good
and-
point.
and
When I
not
was
just-
18, I could live off that
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When I was
for
fucking
weeks.
I used to when I was when I was 19 years old. I was a teacher in New York, and like I would literally be like I would drink black coffee and eat fucking bagels with cream cheese. That was all I would get for days at a time.
Well, first we ate like that, and we were thin. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe these guys aren't wrong.
And I was doing drugs.
Well,
And
I was gonna
fuck-
say,
Come on.
it's a different
Cocaine
it's a
on
different-
everything.
It's a different type of treating your body like shit
Yeah.
than from when you were younger. This is like treating your body like shit, but telling yourself, "Oh yeah, I'm being healthy.
It's for health.
I'm eating
It's
vegan.
for health. It's for health
It's
reasons.
just fucking being so
And
healthy."
I still cook vegan shit because like, I've always been like on the broker side of life. Never been particularly prosperous, but like my on the broker side of life. But like my take has always been that like obesity runs really rampant in poorer communities. And a lot of that's more accessibility than it is money, because you fucking buy a cheeseburger for like nothing, right? But
Easy
like
to go to McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's for $10, you fucking eat all night. But or it used to be at least, now it's a little worse.
No shit.
But I've always been good at being like, well, I'm gonna take that $10 and I'm gonna buy a bunch of like dried beans or some shit, and I will make food that will last me like all week.
Yeah,
but
get some fucking ham hocks for real cheap.
Yeah,
come on now.
Yeah. Like I'm
pig's feet.
I am good as fuck at shopping cheap for, and mind you, when I have money, I don't do that. I buy whatever the fuck I want.
Slow cooker recipes, fellas.
Yeah, exactly.
Those guys going and getting fucking
I was just making
ribeyes every day,
like
baby.
Soaking chickpeas the other day. Like,
yeah,
I'll get chicken livers and shit. Like,
listen, you've tried my red beans and rice. That's
delicious.
Yeah,
good stuff.
I'd do that shit and
Straight
eat
from
off of
Louisiana.
that for days, man.
Historically, that's where these fun foods are coming from.
Oh hell yeah! All the soul food and shit like that is all the shit people were throwing away.
Chitlins.
And
chitlins are.
Chitlins are.
we don't like to talk about that.
Yeah, we're not big chitlins guys around here, but
I'll eat whatever. I don't fuck. I'm a survivor.
Do y'all want to hear some reviews on the Beverly Hills Diet book?
Yes.
That I found. This is from Summer, who wrote this 5-star review in 2001 entitled "Lifelong Slimhood."
Summer, I'm going to assume, is a white woman that lives in Beverly Hills.
Lifelong Slimhood sounds like the screen name of someone with a tight foreskin.
I was gonna say Slim Hood. Just sounds like
it's awesome.
You know,
it's awesome.
Lifelong.
I love it.
Awesome.
I love having tight foreskin.
I can't even pull it back, dude. It's so tight.
Awesome.
So this is from this is an old one. This is from 01. This new way of eating really works. While the first 10 days are difficult, they are worth it. I've tried several diets since giving birth, but this is the one that has no, quote, nevers on maintenance and works. I don't know what that means.
No nevers on maintenance.
This is the only one that has no nevers on maintenance and works.
She's missing a comma.
I don't. Anyway, I have read some negative reviews on this book, but I doubt if the writers have even tried the diet. Some even say it's not nutritionally sound, like nutritionists and doctors. As if being overweight is. I lost 10 pounds in the first 7 days, and that speaks a lot louder to me than any review, no matter who wrote it. I also tried the new Beverly Hills Diet, new is all in caps, but am much more impressed with the original. If you have weight to lose and can't deal with eating tiny portions without anything, quote, fattening for the rest of your life, then this diet is for you.
Hold on a second.
Summer sounded like she was hot before she started talking.
Summer sounds like she was hot before she gave birth. And now she's
waiting for it.
Obsessed.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
In there, she says that she tried the new Beverly Hills Diet.
Uh-huh.
So am I to understand? There's a series of Beverly Hills diets, and they did not just do the Beverly Hills Diet 1, 2, and 3.
Jeez,
very precise. Very
was
precise.
that a fucking Eddie Murphy movie reference?
110%. Yeah. Like, how do you not label it that? That's fucking brand recognition than a motherfucker right
Beverly
there.
Hills Diet 2.
The Axel Foley edition.
Yeah. 3 would be like the
Judge
Reinhold. Yeah. Judge Reinhold.
The heat is on. That's it.
Oh my
Heat
god.
is on.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. So yeah, it was. Well, I mean, yeah. So there is a new one. Like I said, so many of these you go in and it's like there's recent stuff like within the last 3-4 years where people are still talking about it.
I feel like I have to clarify. The Heat is on is a song from Beverly Hills Cop 3.
It's on the street.
The song is called On the Street.
Ooh, ooh.
The heat is on.
Ooh.
There you go.
Available on Macy's.
I actually had the Beverly Hills Cop 3 soundtrack on cassette.
Jesus, I had Cocktail on cassette tape.
Oh.
The Cocktail,
Wow.
soundtrack.
Wow.
Cocktail soundtrack had I don't know.
Anybody see that?
Real
Is this a
shitty songs.
Columbia House.
The hippie shake was on it.
Is this
Dude,
from Columbia House?
Oh my God!
You actually went to the store and
Tell
got
him
it.
your fucking Columbia House story.
I don't have a Columbia House
Yes,
story.
you do.
I do?
Yeah, your dad was a member.
I was a member.
What?
You got the Columbia House records. You remember this?
Oh my God! I forgot about this. Well, I don't think it was Columbia House at the time, but
this story is the reason that I resent him.
my
forever.
dad. So my dad has back in the day, like when I was born, like 80, 81, my parents had a membership to something similar to Columbia House. I don't know if it was Columbia House per se, but they would get
For the sake of the story, let's say it is.
like 2 albums a month or something like that, right? These are records. These are vinyls, LPs. And so one day I happened to just be going through everything, and he had so many like first run,
Ooh.
like really big name bands now, first runs of albums where I'm like, and they're still in the cellophane.
Oh.
And so I'm pulling them out, and I'm like, why were these never open? And my mom was there, and she was like, oh, we were just getting so many of them, and you were a baby, and so we're like, trying to take care of you, and blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, we never got around to them, and so they just got put away, and your dad wanted to keep his records, so, they're still in there.
This fucking guy sends
So I
me
So I keep going through them, and I find it wasn't an original press, but it was like a second press of Black Sabbath's Paranoid, which is an extremely valuable record if you have
like $3,000 or something.
Yeah,
Like
if you have like the original. I think the one I had was like close to $1,000.
Ooh.
And still in the cellophane and everything. And I was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I want to listen to it.
Hell yeah.
Opened it up, put it on my record player. Sounded great.
He sent me all of this as a saga,
Yeah.
like, hey, I found this thing. I was thinking maybe it's and I was like, is that original pressing? He goes, I don't know. How do you tell? And we looked it up.
We
and it's
started
like,
going through.
The only way to tell is to open it. And
Oh
he's like,
yeah, that's
and
right.
he's
There was
like,
a stamp on the thing.
well, fuck it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I was like, I want to listen to it anyway.
And so
Fuck this.
then he sends me a video of it playing, and I'm like, oh fuck.
I don't care about this Princess Diana beanie baby.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I've got like my record player, like I have really nice speakers that like, so like the sound quality for my records is really good anyway. And I was like, there's no way I can just, even if I know that this record is worth thousands of dollars, I don't give a fuck. Like, I want to listen to it.
Yeah, I have it. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Had I the money and the stuff, I just bought it.
Yeah. The funny thing is my dad, because I took like, there were like Foreigner records and like all this like original, like I said, first press stuff still in the cellophane. So I grabbed like probably 5-6 records, and I was like, I'm taking these. And my dad's like, well, I want them back. And I was like, you've had them for 40 years. And
They're
you know
mine,
what?
damn it.
You know what, Dad? Sure. Whenever you want them, you can have them back. And I was like,
The minute you remember that I have these, you feel free.
Wait a minute.
who gets these when you die? Just out of curiosity, who's this gonna? Yeah, well, you and your sister. Oh, well,
Drink
my
up,
sister
old man.
it doesn't give a fuck about your old vinyl, so they're mine. Thank you.
My sister's a doctor. She doesn't care about
Yeah.
music.
My sister
this is for me.
Yeah, just shucking people's teeth out of their head and fucking making too much money. So
Speaking of which, I gotta make an appointment with her.
yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You should do that.
I have dental insurance.
Yay. Oh yeah, we never. So we read old Summer Slim Hood.
That's a 5-star.
That was her 5-star.
Okay.
This one, the name of the review is "Free from That Sick Diet," and it's a 1-star review.
Ooh.
And it is all in caps from the title to the body, everything.
Don't yell it.
I'm not going to. This is from 2005.
So that's some shit he does.
I do. I put the microphone down and I just scream
They
at the
took
ceiling.
the time to put all caps. I mean, you have to.
I gotta just scream the whole thing. No, it's like a paragraph long. I'm not screaming all that. A sick and idiotic way of losing weight. Don't try it. No punctuation here, by the way. Just This is from '05. Everyone here, don't think of buying that crap. It's just a waste of money and time. People who go on this diet suffer for a lifetime. I tried it and I was suffering from a disorder with my eating habits, and I have visited lots of doctors to cure my illness. I became self-obsessed and never knew it's right for me to eat or not. ... Please don't try this book at all risks. It's not good for anyone of my age. Or anyone of any age. Sorry, I thought it was my age. Like, I was going to stop and be like, we don't know how fucking old you are, free from that sick diet. It's not good for anyone of any age. Just be on a stable diet and well-balanced meals and you will lose weight. Or try something like low-fat diet on a protein diet even would do.
Probably a good time to remember that May is Mental Health Awareness.
I think it's also Masturbation Month. Sorry, John Kellogg.
Got to cut this one short.
Wait, this is an official celebration? Because I don't want to, like, be culturally insensitive.
I saw something that May is National Masturbation Month.
Well, good for that. Because it's my birthday month.
I know what you're going to be doing.
Oh, jeez.
I wasn't planning on doing any masturbation, but now...
I was kind of thinking of going to a strip club, so I guess that's it.
Are we going to the strip club?
I mean, it's right down the street.
It is right down the street.
And it was just your birthday, right?
Listeners, I live not a 10-minute walk away from a very popular strip club here in Jacksonville, Florida.
Wackos. This is where we're recording right now. Is the most Jacksonville part of Jacksonville in my mind. Just like
really is.
Yeah,
it really is.
I mean, we on the way here we
bad.
right next to
comment.
Right next to Wackos was there was just like a Mexican guy selling shoes and hats.
Yeah, I saw that guy. I almost stopped.
He
looked like he had some cool shoes.
Another shop just selling a bunch of weird random shit on the side of the road.
A truck full of watermelons.
It's right down Emerson.
Yeah.
You're right on the corner of Emerson and Spring Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a truck full of watermelons.
Ooh.
There was one of those little the things where you can stop and get the juice, which, by the way, fire. I don't know if you've ever stopped and done that. Yeah.
I am.
I feel like that's
you get the big quart of juice for like $5.
That's like a particularly Jacksonville-ass thing, too. Yeah, like I've been a lot of places, and I don't see that. I see that some places, but it's really Jacksonville. Like
this is the area of Jacksonville that has a large Latin community. And I fucking love it.
I'm so happy that neither one of you noticed that I got really excited when you started talking about the truck full of watermelons.
Is it still there?
You know what? You know what?
Fuck it. Watermelons are delicious.
I'm gonna. First of all, who doesn't like watermelon fried chicken? Fuck off. Secondly, I'm gonna go ahead and raise my hand. That is a testament to how I don't buy into a lot of these racist tropes, because I said a truck full of watermelons, didn't even think, hey, Jevon's sitting right next to me.
Oh, well,
Never even crossed my mind.
Now you made it fucking weird.
Yeah, exactly.
We were all having fun a second ago.
Had you taken a second and you're like, there's a truck full of watermelons.
You want me to take you over there, Jevon? There's a truck full of watermelons, Jevon.
Fuck your podcast. I'm out of here.
Jevon starts trembling and his eyes start watering.
Yes, damn it. Take me over there.
I was saying that you were trembling and your eyes were watering because you were mad at me, not because you were desperately trying to run to the truck of watermelon.
Feeling the call of the watermelon. It's pulling
I love it.
They're delicious.
Oh my God. They are fucking delicious. Who doesn't like watermelon? Stupid.
What is watermelon and chicken diet?
Oh,
damn. I'll get on that diet right now.
I'm not against that.
I'll get on that
I kind of just eat chicken anyway. Really.
You know,
because when I work in the sun, you know, like I do like physical labor and stuff. Yeah. I get like electrolyte fatigue. You know, you want salt, you need salt and fats and stuff. I fucking get a rotisserie chicken like once a week.
Good point.
I eat it in the car.
You know what I really like?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I really like with my fried chicken, honestly, and like sometimes people look at me weird. I like black-eyed peas.
Oh, black-eyed peas are okay.
Like black-eyed peas with a lot of people like barbecue beans.
What do they call
like
that?
Whatever.
Like southern
soul food.
No,
I like black-eyed peas and potato salad and fried chicken. God damn, I'll fucking sit there all day.
Fuck?
Hey, call Eric.
Yeah. Right now on the podcast.
Call Eric.
No, like the black-eyed peas tradition on New Year's.
Oh yeah, because you guys had that when we did the charcuterie board party. We did a charcuterie board party at Jevon's house.
Where the fuck was I?
Did I send you a video of the giant charcuterie board that Allison made? She made a charcuterie board that was like the size of this fucking tabletop, dude. It was insane.
Ever attend a charcuterie party and you don't fucking invite me. I'm quitting.
Well,
We have
to talk to
a
this
bunch
man.
of,
He's
bunch
the
of theme
inviter.
parties. It's-
He is the man with the invites.
Yeah, we may never do that party again, but there's always a thing.
I don't know. That was a good party.
Yeah, there's always a thing.
Good party. There was,
Theme
but
parties are
anyway,
okay.
So Erica, Jevon's wife, made one that had like, it had chicken wings on. It had black eyed peas, and nobody was fucking with the black eyed peas.
Yeah.
And I was like, like just spooning them onto my
They
plate.
call it like Southern caviar. That's like,
Really?
yeah. That's
Black eyed peas?
That's a thing.
Okay.
I'll look that up.
You guys
believe
had
it.
fried black eyed peas before?
Fried? No.
Oh,
Really?
one of the best things you've ever had.
Really?
hell yeah.
I trust you.
Tastes like a it's crisp like a whatever. It's crisp,
Yeah.
pops open easy, but it tastes just like a boiled peanut.
Oh shit.
Really?
Amazing.
This man had a pork shoulder on the freaking smoker for I don't even know how long. Was slicing it and putting on Hawaiian rolls. Oh my god, dude! It was so good.
Southern caviar is like black eyed peas, corn.
Like
I was gonna say it's a whole dish.
tomatoes.
Like
Yeah,
succotash.
Yeah, succotash. Yeah.
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 Succotash is like corn, black eyed peas, bell pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, this one's a fun one.
We just keep talking about
This one's a fun one. Deal a meal.
deal a meal.
Deal a meal.
I remember
Diet
that.
from the late '80s.
Yes.
Developed by Richard Simmons.
Remember that?
Ooh.
Developed by Richard Simmons. That one had the cards.
Mm-hmm.
So it had it was so Richard Simmons' story was that he developed this to help himself keep track of his daily food intake. So it was a packet of cards, and you had like a little plastic wallet, and each of the cards listed an item and a portion size from various food groups, and you had an allotment each day of calories, and every time you ate a portion, you transferred the card out, and you could like mix and match what you were going to have. You had like a calorie goal, and you would say, okay, I'm going to eat eggs, and you take the eggs out, and it'd be like 2 eggs or this many calories, and then you take that out and you put it in the back, and then you had X amount, and then you knew how many calories you had throughout the day.
So you didn't really deny yourself. If you wanted to go balls to the wall for breakfast, do it.
Which I feel like that actually,
That kind of makes a
again,
lot of
because it
sense.
makes sense,
Yeah.
and it just seems like it's a really, I mean, not so much now in the days of apps and internet and all that stuff, but it seems like a really convenient way because, again, dieting is all about how many calories you take in, how many calories do you burn, right?
That's all that matters.
As long as column A is less than column B, then you lose weight.
I could always
That's all
see
that matters.
like Richard Simmons being pretty legit because he really was sweating his fucking ass off those oldies.
Plus, he
So
was really
the
fat
oldies.
before he started.
Yeah, he's.
That's the story. I don't think I ever saw a fat photo of Richard Simmons, but I do know the story. Are you looking it up?
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
because that also is a hole in the story.
So, yeah, each time he ate a portion, he would transfer the card representing it from one side of his wallet to the other. He quit eating that day when all the cards were gone. So that's what you did. You took the cards and you made your meals for the day, and you put it in the wallet, and every time you eat one, you would move it to the back of the card or the back of the wallet. So, you basically follow a healthy and balanced diet that includes about 60% carbs, 20% proteins, 20% fats. All the food groups are included, so you consume low-fat dairy, fruit, vegetable starches, lean proteins. Each food group has a prescribed number of servings or, quote, exchanges from the day that are based on your caloric needs. That is not real.
Did you find a picture? Because
That's not real.
No, he visited that guy. He visited that guy at the hospital.
That would be
the
hilarious.
picture directly under that one is him hugging that guy.
What about that?
He looks
like him.
That is him for sure, but he doesn't look fat. I guess that forearm's kind of fat.
What?
We're trying to find fat Richard Simmons pictures right now, which is
I don't even think that's him.
what in that picture that Jevon just
Yeah.
had. Yeah, it is.
Just that curly-haired guy.
No, that's
We're
definitely
looking
his
at
face.
pictures on a podcast.
That's definitely his face. Yeah, we need to stop doing that and actually do our podcast.
I'd see no documentation that Richard Simmons was ever fat.
I
Like he was just super flamboyant and high energy.
Yes.
And somebody's like, put that guy on camera. He gets him dancing.
Plus, he had the cool fro.
So that's he did, and he was very, very flamboyant and dancy and slim and seemed motivational. And like I said, this is the one diet we've gone through so far that I'm like,
I remember in
I feel like this actually might work.
But like I feel like Richard Simmons was just like somebody who was like being funny at the mall one time, and like a TV producer's like, "That's the guy.
That guy needs to be on TV.
I can take you places.
Yeah, he's just like,
you're gonna make millions, kid. Millions.
Richard Simmons is just spinning around in the fountain in the middle of the mall. I love to sing. Like, fucking get that guy. Put him in a cage.
He's doing Dancing in the Rain.
Yeah.
So I did also find some reviews on Meal a Deal online. This one from D. This is not real. I didn't realize how not real this was until I started reading it. D. Beat Hard.
Nice.
D. Beat Hard?
D. For national...
first initial D. Last name Beat Hard.
Beathard?
Yeah. Bethard is, I think. That is a real last name. That is, yeah. But if your last name is Beat Hard and your first name starts with a D, just put your name on there. Unless it's Dick. Unless it's Dick Beat Hard. Then you just put Richard.
His name's Richard, but he just goes by Dick. So
Dick Beat Hard.
Dick Beat Hard.
So
fucking detective Dick Beat Hard.
So Dick Beat Hard gave it 5 stars. Although the title of the review is not what I expected. 5 stars. I thought I was ordering the Deal a Meal cards and wallet. I got the video by itself. I watched it and learned a lot about portion control and serving sizes. Richard S., you could just say...
Yeah, we know who he is.
We can, just fucking... This guy really does... He really thinks initials are important.
It's like Exercisers Anonymous.
Dick Beat Hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maintain his privacy.
Ricky S.
Why did he do Richard S. but D. Beat Hard?
I don't know.
R.
Simmons.
You gotta pick one.
I don't know, but I am confident that his name is Dick Beat Hard. That's the one thing I know.
I'm putting it all in on Dick Beat Hard.
I don't know much, but his name's Dick Beat Hard. That's my best Aaron Neville you're gonna get tonight.
That's good.
So Richard Sim, I'm just gonna say his name. Just fucking spoiler alert. It's Richard Simmons. Also gave menu suggestions and showed us what they should look like. He's very informative and entertaining. The video is good, but you need the whole system. If you have the whole system but not the video, I recommend you get it. You'll be inspired. If you have the system but not the video. So the video, this guy who got the video but not the system.
Could you just, if you have the video, could you just make your own cards?
Cross out the ace.
He's saying he thought he was getting the cards in the wallet, but he just got the video. But he still gave it 5 stars. He's like, fuck it.
I learned a lot about portion control.
Richard S. is
you can't,
swell guy.
You can't criticize Richard S. for his...
This one's my favorite. This one out of all the reviews we're going to do today, because it is... I don't know what's happening here. All right? This is a 3-star review from Dean Simmons, and this one's 3 years old. This one's from 21.
His brother.
Dean Stevens. I'm sorry, Dean Stevens. I had Simmons on the brain. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know it. So, okay, this is Dean Stevens, 3 stars from 2021. You guys ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
The title of the review is 95-pound mole removal.
Okay.
This is the...
You have our attention.
Pause for effect. Got these for my wife. Went downstairs to get something and saw her hoofing down candy bars. I never wanted her to be thin for me. Almost caused something very bad to happen.
That's the whole review?
11 people found it helpful. I don't know why.
Was she the 95-pound mole?
If she's 95 pounds, then she's already thin.
Get rid of that bitch.
I don't care what height.
Get rid of that bitch. Fucking wolfing candy bars.
Wolfing candy bars, not for me. Almost caused something very bad to happen.
Was he going to murder her?
Was he going to beat her? I don't know. Almost. What are you saying, Dean Stevens?
Doesn't matter. She needs to go.
And why did 11 people? The other review above it, it is what it is, came in messed up box. That one tells you what actually happened, and only one person found that helpful. 11 people found 95-pound mole removal helpful for what?
To be fair, out of context, I feel like that second review could just be somebody's description of their life. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Came in a messed up box. Oh my god.
Did you know that Richard Simmons never publicly came out as gay?
I did know that.
Yeah.
I was actually aware of that.
Was he actually?
It's Richard Simmons.
I think it seems like. I mean,
guys,
it's an assumption, but I don't know if he's actually
Richard Simmons.
It's always an assumption until the person says it out loud. But
That's true.
I think you could make an educated guess based on everything about him.
Like the.
You guys want to know something funny?
He could be he could be from North Carolina.
You want to know something really funny?
That's just North Carolinians are just like that.
What's the movie? The Campaign.
Huggins. Yeah. I know you're talking about with You ever see The Campaign?
Oh yeah.
It's a meth.
Yeah. See, he's from North Carolina.
Push it real good.
Yeah, that's the best part. That's the best part of the movie. Yeah, push it real good.
You guys want to know something
not
funny?
Punching a puppy.
That was fun too.
Richard Simmons actually looked a lot like my now deceased grandmother.
Oh yeah.
Like, strangely enough, like growing up, I'd be like, see that guy on the TV and be like, why does he look like grandma? Why does he look so much like grandma? Same haircut, same facial features. Yeah, it was very strange. Richard Simmons looked like my rest in peace grandma. Love you to death. Looked just like her. Weirdly. 1988, the OptiFast diet. OptiFast. Another famous person did this one, and we're going to get into that. This is called a VLCD. Very low calorie diet is all that stands for. But that is an acronym for...
I thought that was a movie that Jean-Claude Van Damme made.
I thought that's the purpose of a diet.
Very low calorie diet?
Yeah. No,
or VLCD.
JVLCD.
VLCD. Very loud Claude Dam.
Wow.
Van
Wow.
L. Claude Dam.
Wow.
Wow. So this restricted your daily caloric intake to below 800 calories, forcing your body to use its fat stores for energy.
That's I'm sorry. I'm gonna yell.
Yeah.
You're gonna pass that out to one.
Oh. That's a diet.
Okay. Do you know who
VLC something else?
Do you know who the famous person who was a huge proponent of OptiFast?
Oprah.
Nailed it in one.
Ooh.
Nailed it in one. Yeah, Oprah. When Oprah lost all the weight, that was OptiFast.
One of my all-time favorite jokes from Saturday Night Live is like the Jerry Seinfeld Jeopardy episodes of the 90s. Adam Sandler's playing Jerry Seinfeld, and the category is just Oprah.
Uh-huh.
And Adam Sandler's Seinfeld bit goes, she's fat, she's thin, she's fat, she's thin, pick a body and go with it.
Oh my God.
What's the deal with Oprah?
What's the deal with Oprah? So OptiFast
Never saw it, but I can imagine it.
Yeah.
What's the deal? OptiFast is a line of products and an associated diet plan produced by the Novartis Medical Nutrition Corporation. Sounds evil. They're headquartered in Basel, Switzerland.
Island.
You have to fly a chopper into the volcano to get there. It's headquartered in Basel, Switzerland, and produces many different pharmaceutical and general nutrition products, including Gerber baby food.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a neutral diet.
According to Novartis, since the company introduced OptiFast in 1974, more than 1 million people have used the diet. It was the first all-liquid, very low-calorie, physician-monitored diet to be available commercially. Although the OptiFast line began with pre-made drinks, it has grown to include soup mixes and nutrition bars. It has also been flagged by nutritionists as quite not good for you.
Starvation's not good.
Yeah, like not consuming.
Yeah.
Not consuming the necessary calories to survive a day.
Yeah, less than fucking 800 calories a day. That's like dangerous.
Yeah.
What was that cult? Nvidia.
The branch Davidians.
Yeah.
No, that was
David
David Koresh.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking also.
No, it was like a NVXX weird something, but there was a funny way of pronouncing it. I don't remember. But all the women.
Wild Wild Country guys?
This was not long ago.
This was Diet Cult?
Kind of recently.
It's like they're fucking insane, but they look great.
Well, no, all the women couldn't have that was one of the things. Like they were like 800 or fewer calories a day. All the women were like looked like fucking Auschwitz survivors.
Did you ever?
No.
Yeah, that was a fucking. Well, they look great.
Hearing models and Auschwitz survivors at the same time was weird.
You just beat me to the punch.
There's also the blood type diet, which was stupid, and I really want to blow through it because the next one is great, and I can't wait for it.
Hold on a second.
Huh.
Is this a Dracula's diet?
That's too easy.
Typo negative.
Ooh.
Well, so I'll give you the real brief rundown, right? So it suggested that individuals should eat based on their blood type, and that's the most important factor of determining a healthy diet, right? And the general guidelines for each blood type were: if you're type A, you focus on plants and avoid red meat. Type B, eat the most foods with limited dairy, wheat, lentils, and tomatoes. Type O, consume a high protein diet with limited grains. And AB, follow a mix of type A and type B diets, whatever the fuck that means.
That's dumb.
Yeah, so every dietitian and physician was like, this is not supported by
this isn't a thing.
Any type of science. As a matter of fact, in 2014, they did a study comparing biomarkers like body mass index, blood pressure, cholesterol, insulin among young people. And they each had them try the diet that was for their blood type, and they saw that there was no significant difference in any of those biomarkers between any of those groups. And so it was
bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, in other words, the people who were eating the right diet for their blood type didn't have any biomarker values that were any different than the people eating the wrong diet for their blood type.
It does sound.
I did a lot of air quotes.
Doesn't matter if
for the
already cashing
listeners.
checks.
Yeah, cashing checks.
Yeah, right.
It does just sound like all of those are diets. So if there's no difference in blood type variation, like they should all work, kind of.
I don't know whose idea any of that was, but
I mean, it's fucking clever. That's a clever marketing.
Yeah.
But I do want to steam forward right into.
Can we please just market a diet to like zodiac signs?
It probably
We could just do 12 different diets that will work a little bit.
It probably exists, and I feel like I may have seen something like that in doing these show notes.
So many.
But before we get to that, we gotta go.
Geminis get 2 diets.
Yay! Pisces, you just eat fish.
Yeah.
Taurus, do I just eat a lot of
steaks,
red
all
meat?
day?
I don't want that. I don't want that at all. What does an Aries eat?
Yes.
Dicks.
Just angrily nonstop.
Mermaids.
Mermaids? No, that's
Oh, it's Ariel. I'm sorry.
What does a Cancer eat? Just fucking processed foods.
Crabs.
Just lots of processed food.
Wow.
Just fucking Little Debbie's and Hormel fucking
cheese whiz.
Cheap and cigarettes.
Just hot dogs. Jesus Christ. All right. So we got to go to the 2000s and the Subway diet.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Jared Fogle, motherfuckers.
That's a bad guy.
Yeah. He's in prison. Yeah.
That's
Is he dead? Did they
No,
kill
he's
him?
alive. He's still
Okay.
in prison.
All right.
He's he might be.
I thought they
I don't know how long he
jumped
got.
him and stabbed him. and
somebody
stuff.
did jump him and beat the shit
Okay.
out of him, but
All right.
he's
Yeah,
alive.
he
I'm
didn't.
pretty sure.
He didn't get offed, unfortunately. So I'm gonna jump right into this.
It'd be funny is if he's
Talk about
fat again.
this. I mean, talk about cancerous meals.
Yeah,
Fucking
just
prison food.
processed
Jesus Christ.
potatoes with like lethargic pills put in them.
So the Subway diet was created by Jared Fogle, an obese college student who weighed 425 pounds. When he was 22 years old, he lost 245 pounds in 11 months by following a daily diet that consisted primarily of 2 low-fat sandwiches purchased at the Subway fast food chain. After losing 100 pounds, the 6'2" Fogle added walking to his daily routine. So when he went from 425 to 325, he started walking. Fucking
Probably easier to
somebody
do that.
give this motherfucker a trophy. He walked. His dramatic weight loss led to Fogel's appearances in Subway commercials and his role as a motivational speaker and advocate in the fight against childhood obesity. And I wonder why he was so interested in that fucking particular project.
He's like, I just feel like he should have a T-shirt that just says "No fat kids."
I want to fuck kids, but not the fatties.
Not the fat ones. No fatties.
I remember I was listening to a thing about Jared Fogle at one point, and did you know that he went to Oklahoma State? Where did he go to college? Anyway, he was known as the porn guy in college. So this was back in the early 2000s where they had like CDRs, where you could like rip, you had to put a CD in your computer.
I had one of those.
Yeah. And
I used it to make illegal copies of art films.
Okay.
Because I was very cultured.
He went to Indiana University, not Oklahoma. Sorry, Oklahoma University students and faculty. But
I'm not even joking. Like I
nobody
had like so many bootleg.
Nobody was gonna come after you for those.
I just had so many copies of shit like Romeo is Bleeding and shit like a Brideshead Revisited.
You could take out a billboard in Hollywood saying that you did that, and nobody's coming for you.
Kurosawa movies.
Jesus Christ. So,
I had a good collection.
But yeah, he was apparently like the guys at the college would come to his apartment. And he just had like rows and rows of like porn on DVDs that he had made, and they like buy porn. Yeah, well, that not that he made, like he didn't have a whole production. Okay. But no, he would go on his computer and he would rip them onto CDs, and like if you wanted, like whatever fucking category of porn, you'd be like, oh, and he had like a whole library of porn in his shit, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I got it over here.
Hey Jared, I'm looking for That's One Big Dick Volume 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, let's see.
Oh, okay.
That's One Big Dick. Yeah.
That was an actual porn DVD that I had.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had it. I had like my regular CDs, and then just somewhere stuck in the back there was like young Latinas. Stuff my black ass.
What would be the marketing strategy? What would be the marketing strategy of That's One Big Dick for straight men?
There was naked babes on the cover, I guess, and they were going like. You couldn't see that on the podcast, but it's the Macaulay Culkin Home Alone. Oh
my god!
I enjoyed making that video.
I had a video. I had an 80s one called "The End of Innocence," and then I had.
That's a dark.
Wasn't that a movie?
That's a dark gothic romance from the 1300s.
It was one of those that had like a storyline through the whole thing. It was like a porn version of like the Cinderella story. It was the mom, the stepmom, and the sisters ran a brothel, and then the stepsister was like had to clean stuff and do the things, and then at the end she gets banged by her Prince Charming, I guess.
Hell yeah!
And then he's got
the production value?
And then he comes back to try and find out who it is. And then all the ladies in the brothel fuck him so that he can figure out who it is. Or no, they all blow him.
That's a good hook.
They all blow him.
Would you call that a happy ending?
And he's like, I'll know who it is. I'll know who it is. So they blindfold him.
That's awesome.
They blindfold him, and everybody takes their turns blowing him.
And he's like, oh, awesome. I got the teeth.
And then when the stepdaughter finally does it, he's like, that's her. And then he takes off the blindfold, and then they fuck some more, I guess.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh. No, that's how he finds her.
That's
how he finds her. He's banging one of the stepsisters because they, one of the evil stepsisters. They're the ones in the brothel. He's banging them, and then something happens where she has to go, and then the sweet stepsister comes in and just like starts sucking him off while he's blindfolded or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway,
can we take a 10-minute break? Just...
It is.
So I can go find that VHS and pop it in, and we can all. But I also had one called Bald Beavers, Volume 63 or some shit like that. It was like one of the
not nearly as good as
they made a lot of these.
I had a girl.
I actually got that right around the corner, the sex shop in that same plaza as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a an actual Girls Gone Wild, like volume 13.
Wow.
Like Girls Gone Wild.
Jesus, where'd you get that from?
Dorm Days or some shit. I don't know. I don't know where it came, but it came to me, no pun intended, because I knew one of the girls in it.
Oh, she was just giving you promo merch?
I didn't buy it, but like somebody gave me. It was like, dude, this guy, like Alicia's on here.
Oh, I thought she was just had a bunch of like, no,
it was
like actors get a lot of like swag to give out. She's like, look, I was in this. Here you go.
My daughter's in this one.
Somebody's like, yo, Alicia's in this, and I watch it, and it's like this.
What was Alicia's last name?
I can't remember.
Would you say it if you did?
I would, yes. I don't care about this person.
Oh, God damn. Sorry, Alicia.
So was she really in it?
Yeah, no, she was. But like it was like a college sluts edition or whatever.
Apologies to all the Alicias who are listening.
Yeah, not you. But the thing I remember the most about this is, one, Girls Gone Wild is terrible. Just like ridiculous. There's no quality. There's no context. It's all just like, woo, boobs.
Yeah.
Camcorder,
yeah,
ridiculous, yeah.
But this particular one, there was like a break in just like the New Orleans titty flashes, and there was an actual like lightly scripted like lesbian threesome. That was like, yeah, and this girl that I knew,
lightly scripted.
she like lightly scripted. Yeah, she was like knock on the door. There's another girl who was just on the bed. She opened it, and the girl came in, and she had put on like a fake British accent. And I remember that more than anything. She made...
Riley was watching it for the story. He's like, that's a bad British accent.
She made like a character choice.
Nice.
And that will always stick with me. There's never not a chance to improvise.
I just came in to lick your pussy.
It's pretty much, yeah. It was pretty much
She's doing like a scullery maid.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Would you like your pussy licked, mate?
You don't have fish and chips.
Whoa.
Gross.
I like how you just made it like a cockney.
I'm here to lick your pussy, mate, governor.
Give you the old.
I'm here to lick the old clam. Oh my gosh. Gross. I am so surprised at the lack of Jared Fogle. Just
nobody.
You got to stay away from that.
Nobody wants to talk about that guy. I would much rather talk about porn.
Good point. So let's go back to it.
I would rather talk about anything than Jared Fogle. I just
watched
thought
a
there
Jared
would be
Fogle
some jokes
documentary a while
about
ago.
what a dirtbag he is.
And like the documentary was legitimately chilling. I was like uncomfortable as fuck.
Thank you. Exactly. Yeah. It's just not something you want to talk about.
Listen, even before I knew about any of the scandal shit,
he always had that.
That guy had one of the most punchable fucking faces.
Yeah.
Like every time he like was on a Subway commercial, that sneering little smile, like, I lost the weight. I just would be like,
you sound like Pat from Saturday Night Live.
You just
like it's Pat.
Yeah. I just like I remember being a kid and being like, this guy, how does he make anybody want to eat one of your sandwiches? He is so fucking annoying. Like that's way before, like
he just looked goofy.
Gross. Yeah. That guy. I'm not going into it, but some of the shit that he did was just. Bleh.
The thing that
there's stories about what.
If anybody doesn't know, turns out he's a pedophile.
I think everybody knows
that.
But
in the documentary that I watched, like there's some shit I really am not gonna get into. But
it's so uncomfortable.
One of the things that you got to see is like these text messages that he was sending to his assistant about how much he liked going to like Malaysia and banging boys.
Was that the same?
Oh,
yeah, that was. She was just like, "This is the best. My life is amazing. I'm so excited to be fucking these kids." Like he was like,
was it?
Well, he's pretty open about it.
Yeah, but
was that the same woman that he asked to set up a camera in her kid's room so he could watch it? Yeah, like literally ask this woman, like, "Hey, I want you to do me a favor, okay? Put a camera in your child's room that I can watch, like, and surprise, this woman fucking like outed him, like, what a gross.
Yeah. Anyway, he's dead. I hope
he's not, but
maybe one day.
Well,
I mean, we all will.
Certainly will happen one day. Just whether it happens in the fashion that we would like him to die in is maybe.
I think that I've said
slow
this,
and merciless.
I think I've said this several times on this podcast, and it's going to paint a very weird picture to the people that keep hearing me bring it up. But there are some people you should just shoot by the dumpster.
Yeah.
Some people, not him. If you're going to do that to kids, this is my own soapbox. You're going to do that to kids, slow and merciless.
I think
let him stay locked up.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I think you should give 100. Nah, 100's too many.
This brings
You
me
should
back
give.
to the Drake and Kendrick
You
Lamar
should give
dispute.
8. You should pick 8 children who have been sexually abused and give them metal toothpicks and put them in a room with Jared Fogle and just be like, go to town, go nuts.
Wu-Tang torture.
Or
Just stabbing him 1,000,000 times with metal toothpicks.
Death by a million toothpicks.
Little tiny swords. Little like cocktail swords.
show the entire prison yard, Ball Beavers 27.
Like, here you go, everybody.
I'm fairly certain that guy's probably not in Gen Pop because he probably wouldn't be alive anymore. I mean, Dahmer didn't last long, and he
did not.
Was just he lasted long when he was isolated. Then he asked to be moved to Gen Pop.
Oof.
He was like, I'm done being in a fucking cell by myself for 20 hours a day.
He was a people person, he really needed.
He needed to do his experiments.
Such delicious conversation.
Oh boy! Wow, Jevon's had some bangers today. All right, so I have a personal story about this next one. The 2000s Master Cleanse. You guys remember the Master Cleanse, aka the lemonade diet?
Mm-hmm.
That was the one where you did like lemon juice and maple syrup and cayenne pepper, and that's all you could drink. You had like, I want to say, a gallon a day you could do of that. In the morning, you drank a cup of salt water, lightly salted water, which, by the way, would make you shit your fucking brains out.
Yep.
And then at night, you could do tea. And that was it for 10 days. And
in between,
holy shit.
Were you allowed to get cabbage piss in between that?
I don't think that's allowed,
I think
honestly.
that would probably really set the whole thing off.
That's probably why it went away.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. By day 7 on the Master Cleanse, if somebody had cabbage pissed in my lemonade, I'd be like, "Oh my god, this flavor profile is amazing! What did you do differently?" Yeah,
You'll never guess.
my old roommate and I decided to do this as like a fuck it. Like neither of us were. I mean, I'm bigger now than I was then.
It's not about losing weight. It's about cleansing yourself.
That's what they say, but I mean, dude, let me tell you what. Especially in the morning after that fucking cup of, it was like a pint of warm water with like a teaspoon of salt in it, and you mix it up, and it would all disappear. And then you drink that. You drink it as quickly as possible. And so you'd sit down, and like maybe 10 minutes in, you'd be like, "Oh, I gotta go use the bathroom." And you'd go and you'd sit down and you'd just spray ass, and you'd sit there for probably about 10 minutes, and intermittently just doing the thing, and then you'd get up, dude. And this was like consistently every single day. I'd get up and I'd go like sit back on the couch and like just all right,
back at it.
And then, boy oh boy, let me tell you, you would think in the first round that's when it's gonna hit me. No, second round was explosive, and that was like I'm in the bathroom for 30 minutes, and me and my roommate would be like texting each other from like opposite bathrooms and be like, "How's it for you?" And he'd be like, "Oh boy," and I'd be like, "Yeah, I think I got like another 10 minutes in here at least." And like, it was fucking brutal. And I remember when we finished it, it was, you're supposed to like slowly eat, you're not supposed to go like heavy right back into eating because you haven't eaten food in 10 days. Bro, we went to the fucking grocery store and we went, now, dude, I went to the fucking deli and got popcorn chicken to eat while we were shopping because I was like, I can fucking eat now. And I got like, I mean, I'm like,
I do that all the time.
Dude, I do too, but I mean, that was just, and we made like some big fucking, like, it was healthy food. I think we did like fish or baked chicken or something like that. But I mean, we made like a big ass meal, and it wasn't one of those like, oh, I can only eat a little bit. It was like we gorged ourselves.
Starving.
We gorged ourselves.
I'm a big grocery store eater. Actually, I'll open a thing of bread and start munching on it.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, I'll drink like chocolate milk or some shit and just walk around.
Well, this started
I'll pay for it.
I get it. Don't go to the store. eat before you go to the store.
Well, so this is how it started for me. Was whenever my son was little.
You what?
I just like to graze.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whenever my son was little, we would go to Publix, and Publix is a grocery store chain in the South. For those of you who don't know,
Where shopping is a pleasure.
that's what they say. It's where shopping's fucking expensive
it's like
as
the
shit.
Future of grocery stores. When I came here from Michigan and I walked into a Publix for the first time, I was like, "What the fuck is
They're
this
so
space-age
clean
shit?
and like
Fucking
yeah.
white and green. It
Yeah.
looks like it was amazing.
and they're so like shiny
like I
compared to like
walked into like a space center.
yeah. You go anywhere like north of here and walk into like a Kroger or something like that. You're
Grocery
like,
stores traditionally dingy,
Yeah.
low
Yeah.
lit,
Yeah.
just kind of, a
Publix
little
looks like
grungy.
you're in a like brand new hospital.
Fucking crazy.
But so we would go.
There's
Started down South Florida, appealing to all those rich people down
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we would go, and there was a Publix right around the corner for the house, and we would go, and my son was like 3 years old. So I would always go to the deli and get a thing of popcorn chicken so that he would sit nicely in the cart while I shopped,
Gotcha.
you know?
Yeah.
And then it became a thing. We'd get like a chicken and a lemonade, and then it became like a thing where like even when like he was with his mom or something like that, I'd be like, I think I'd go get a popcorn chicken while I'm shopping. So I'd go get a popcorn chicken and a lemonade and just kind of as I'm going, and I'd be like, this is stopping me from going down the cookie aisle or the ice cream. This is keeping me away from the things I shouldn't be doing. I just get an itch to get something I'm not supposed to get. Eat some popcorn chicken and drink some lemonade. Good now.
You worked at a Publix when you were younger.
When I was very young, yes, we've talked about
I worked at
how and why I got fired
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
podcast. Actually,
there's another fun. There's another fun porn story in there. Oh yeah, we did this
There was
on
a
the
Publix-
podcast. Yeah.
there was a Publix porn story from when I was there, which
Oh,
we're not going to talk about it now. I'll
Please
send you
do.
that one.
But,
I'll send you that episode.
I worked at Albertsons as one of my first jobs. I don't even know if they're still Albertsons. I don't think they are.
I think they're owned by Kroger now.
But I found out from working there that you really can't stop customers from doing anything. Like if a customer
Anywhere.
if a customer wants
anywhere.
to eat fucking the food, that's fine. They just can't walk out of the store. Like that's get the manager to stand at the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like in the meantime, you could fucking literally like just take salad out of the bag and put it on the floor and shit, and no one is allowed to stop you from doing anything.
nice.
So I can eat whatever the fuck I want in there as long as I bring proof of it up to the counter and pay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's
So I do that. That's fun.
who thinks that you can't do that? Do people think that?
Yeah, no, people don't fucking eat at the store because it's crazy.
I do it all the time. Our Walmart here around the corner
Mhm.
has like an area in the front that sells like individual beers and stuff.
What?
And I assume that's for while I'm shopping. And
What?
I'll just
May as well be.
the Walmart right here on Phillips.
Never
Yeah.
seen that before.
Oh yeah. When you walk in to the grocery side, there's like a little it almost looks like a little
Bar?
convenience store.
Well, it would be silly.
There's
not
like
to-
small chips and there's like Red Bulls, individual Red Bull and Coca-Cola and this and that, and then they have like Long Island or Twisted Teas and Bud Light Tall Boys and White Claws and all that stuff, and they're individual. And I'm
nobody's
like,
walking into Walmart to get one individual White Claw and then walk all the way around to get the fuck back out.
I don't know who it's for, but I know that I will go grab one, crack it open, and go do my shopping, and bring the empty can back when I'm
I
done.
mean, you could drink coffee at Target.
Why the fuck not? I mean, shit. Some of the Winn-Dixies are building bars now.
That's
Oh hell
awesome.
yeah!
Yeah,
That's
some of the
awesome.
Winn-Dixies have like beer bars in them, like
That's
craft
awesome.
beer.
I've seen that at a couple. There's one in Gainesville.
Yeah.
It's like all fancy, got sushi and shit. Not like your basic Winn-Dixie sushi. They got people doing it.
Well, I am going to do our last one here. I'm skipping a couple because we can always do more of these in the future. But the last one I wanted to talk about was the keto diet. Everybody knows the keto diet. That's another one I've tried.
My best friend growing up's dad was on keto for like years.
Really?
I remember I would eat like at their house for dinner, and everybody else would have full plates, and he'd just have like a slab of meat.
Yeah.
Nice.
I tried keto for like, I was going to do it for 2 weeks, and I think I was like a week in, and I was like, I need a fucking apple or something. Like, I can't, like, because that's one of those things. You can't like eat sugary fruits or anything. Like, it's too much carbs in those sugars. So, and I'm like thinking to myself, because at this point, this was probably 5 years ago or so. So I'm a grown enough adult that I was like this can't be good for me that you're telling me I can eat all the fucking bacon and steak and eggs
Yeah, there's no way.
that I want as long as I don't eat a goddamn tomato. Like, what?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I never really bought it because my dad was a kind of a fat fuck. I'm saying that specifically about him. I have nothing against people who have weight. I have also got some weight. My dad was categorically a fat fuck. And he would he'd fucking just eat meat all the time. He would fucking
He was keto and didn't even know
he
it.
was
Huh?
constantly keto. Yeah, but it would always be just he'd cook a fucking steak and just put way too much salt on it because he smoked every day of his life.
Nice.
And he couldn't
Christ.
taste shit.
Nice.
And he'd just eat that. That would be his dinner. No sides, no nothing.
That's insane.
Constantly.
That's
And he never lost a pound.
People, that's called winning.
well. So the idea is that normally carbs are converted into glucose, which is transported around your body and it fuels brain function, right? So, but if there's only a little carbohydrate in your diet, the liver converts fat stores into fatty acids and ketone bodies, the latter passing into the brain, replacing glucose as an energy source, and your elevated levels of ketone bodies in your blood, which is called ketosis.
Oh my god,
Is
so
the
boring.
whole fucking bullshit. What is actually cool is there is evidence that this can lower the frequency of epileptic seizures, particularly adolescents with drug-resistant epilepsy, doing like a high cholesterol, high fat, high protein, low carbohydrate.
It's like a low sugar.
Yeah,
thing.
so
I can
kids,
see sugar setting you off.
so particularly kids who have like drug-resistant epilepsy, that's kind of where it all started. But it should be noted that before it became the keto diet, this is kind of interesting, right? In the 1860s, a man named William Banting, who was an overweight English undertaker, popularized a diet based on limiting the intake of carbohydrates. He had a physician named William Harvey who had heard of doing this sort of like high fat, high protein, low carbs diet as a way of managing diabetes. And then he ended up writing this booklet called Letter on Corpulence addressed to the public. So, and then the diet got popular. It got so popular that the word Banting, his last name, or to bant, became synonymous with dieting.
Ooh.
And people would be like, "Are you banting? Do you bant?"
Are you
That's
banting?
awesome.
Are you banting for
Which
me?
sounds more like a metaphor for masturbation.
Banting so hard.
But yeah, I'm really banting. It's the month of May. It's the right month for me to be banting. Sorry, John Kellogg.
When we were talking about the cleanse earlier, it occurs to me that some of like the more traditional old school diets are just pretty much just rely on cleaning you out.
Yeah.
Like yogis and health gurus for that time. They've always eaten
The bears that steal your picnic baskets?
Yes.
At
I hate those
Yellowstone?
motherfuckers.
Yogi
At
bears.
Jellystone National Park?
Gosh damn it.
Jellystone. Yogi, what the fuck? That's my boo boo.
Anybody who doesn't know Hanna-Barbera cartoons?
It's the younger generation.
Yeah,
Whatever, they don't need to listen to
we're too young for Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
That's fair.
4 hours, 8 o'clock till noon, Saturday morning. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what you got.
That's it.
Yeah.
24-hour shit. It's bullshit.
Al Capone.
What was the dune buggy? Remember the
24-hour
dune buggy?
nonsense.
Oh yeah. All
They were
right.
like,
Oh, that was Snidely Whiplash and his dog.
no, there was the Hanna-Barbera version of
He had
like
big eyes, and his headlights were
yeah,
eyes.
it was like the Hanna-Barbera version of like Scooby-Doo. It was like a gang
Yeah,
of
it
like
was.
solve crimes and stuff. Except for
Oh,
instead
they
of
had
a
bunch of those.
dog,
They had, like Jabberjaw. And shit.
instead of a dog, they had Jabberjaw was the same
Jabberjaw had
thing.
his own little
They had a
mystery team.
they had a
Yeah.
talking dune
Josie and the
buggy.
Pussycats.
They had a talking dune buggy.
Who was the talking?
My wife doesn't know about Jabberjaw.
What?
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's horrible.
What do you mean? But I was gonna say like gurus and shit that practice mindfulness and health throughout thousands of years. They would they'd like eat long pieces of cloth.
Oh yeah.
And or string and eat it slowly over
Yeah.
the course of days, and it would go all the way through their body. So they'd
Kelp
be like,
tape.
yeah, they'd be like chewing one length of this big long piece of rope,
Yeah.
and the other would be out their ass already. and they would just keep doing that until it was clean, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's been
This
around
is
a
real.
long time.
It's real. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you
So there's
probably don't go out in public during
No, you
the
stay,
time that
stay
you've
at
got
home.
a rope
But
hanging
there's
out of
literally
each.
a piece.
Yeah, right through you.
So
But you can't like.
I
pull
like
it.
that Jevon did the
He
thing
did
like
the
he was
flossing.
flossing his entire body from his asshole to
You
his
can't do that. I'm
mouth.
pretty sure that would kill you if you did that. But the idea was eventually you eat the whole thing and shit it out, and you're clean on the inside. It's like a spiritual cleansing
Gross.
for your asshole.
So, back to Banting. So, he described his own diet in the booklet as 4 meals per day, consisting of meat, greens, fruits, and dry wine. The emphasis was on avoiding sugar, saccharin matter, starch, beer, milk, and butter.
Like powdered wine?
No, dry,
Dry
like a
wine.
dry.
Like
Not a Moscato.
dry it out?
You want a
Like,
dry?
gosh damn
You dumbass! You.
Not a sweet wine.
He's doing a bit.
Yeah, I was a bartender for like a decade.
So, by the way, before that,
Who's on
because
first?
that sounds. So
What's on second?
that obviously sounds very familiar, right?
Mhm.
But before it became the keto diet, in the 1970s, a fellow named Robert Atkins wrote the Atkins Diet Revolution.
Nice.
And that was marketed with claims that carbohydrate restriction is crucial to weight loss, and that the diet offered a, quote, high-calorie way to stay thin forever. What the fuck? The Atkins diet has been described as a low-carbohydrate, high-fat, high-protein fad diet. Again, that's classified as a fad diet. It promotes the consumption of meat, cheese, eggs, and other high-fat foods such as butter, mayonnaise, and sour cream in unlimited amounts, while bread, cereal, pasta, and other carbohydrates are forbidden, which sounds like a really cool way to get butthole cancer. That's the like when I was trying when I was trying keto, I was like, I'm gonna get colon cancer. All I'm eating is steaks and bacon and shit. Like, fuck this, dude.
There's no way.
Like, I can't have any fruit. I can't have any roughage. I get. Okay, fine. I get no pasta, no rice, whatever. Fine. But like, goddamn fruit. Fuck off.
Oh.
Do you know what apples did to Adam?
Nothing that bitch didn't do first.
Come on now.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Please, once again, go on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. That will make you our really good friend, and we'll be so fucking thrilled. Yeah.
And we again do not endorse any of these diets because
They're all stupid as
It
fuck.
seems to me the only one that will actually lose you weight is the cocaine.
You know what? Richard Simmons' diet seemed to have some promise.
Yeah. Well, you also have to.
Yeah, that had a good.
You also have to dance like a fucking maniac. Because just sweat your dick off.
I wish I had the time. If I had the time, I would dance my dick
Sweat
off.
into the oldies.
I would sweat to all of
I
it.
would. You know what? I do endorse that anybody at home who's interested in losing some weight.
oldies now
just
is like
pull
Ace
up
of Base. You could do Ace of
YouTube
Base.
sweating with the oldies, and just jam with Richard.
Forget the diets. Moral of the story: just get off your ass.
Get off
Yeah,
your ass,
just
walk
get
around.
off your
Yeah.
ass.
Go for a fucking walk. You could
Dude,
listen to
have a-
this while you're walking, motherfucker.
Have a moderate diet and eat balanced meals.
All right. Well,